We are here. You are listening live to Elida High School and Monroe High School playoff football. We are here at the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. Glad to be here in Week 7 and starting off the playoffs. Joel Sackenheim here along with my partner in crime, Dr. Dan Vogt.
Hey, Joel. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Long road trip tonight for us, huh?
Yes, it was. It's a pleasant drive, though. A nice summery weather drive. You rolled the windows down, turned the stereo up, and got ready for some good high school football tonight.
You know, it's so funny. I can remember going to high school playoff games for very, very far road trips, and you know, cold weather out, frost on the ground. I would put on my Christmas tunes. You know, that would be the beginning of my, starting to listen to some of the Christmas music. It's a little weird trying to do it on October 9th with 80-degree weather outside.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I mean, we're here with shorts on, T-shirts. It's pretty comfy here.
Don't get me wrong. Karen Carpenter's voice still sounds excellent all these years later, but
yes,
the weather definitely does not contribute, but we're not complaining. This is absolutely beautiful, and we are here at Roger Kraft Memorial Stadium, Dan. This is an absolutely exquisite venue for high school football.
It's absolutely beautiful. Just to give you an idea, we have sports turf out there. The Elida Bulldogs, it looks like their colors are orange, black, and white. We were just entertained by the Elida marching band, and I'll tell you, any of you older folks know back in the day, Fairfield High School to me was the standard for high school bands, and anytime Baden played Fairfield back in the day, and I went to a lot of those games, it was just a great treat to see Fairfield's band. And Elida comes out, does a lot of Ohio State songs. Their alma mater is actually
Carmen, Ohio.
Carmen, Ohio. So is my alma mater too. There, being a Buckeye graduate.
The bands you mentioned this,
yes.
and I remember going up to Coldwater and seeing Baden play them. And
yeah, I
think most of the schools in this area of the state, the entire student body either plays on the football team or plays in the marching band. That seems about right?
That's dedication to football up here. We're just probably 5 minutes from Lima, Ohio, just to give you an idea where we're at, okay?
Yeah, right there off of exit 120-ish,
yes.
off of I-75. And down here is how breathtaking this stadium is. You had mentioned sports turf earlier. I know you got here later than I did.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that is natural grass.
Are you kidding me?
That's how pristine it looks. That is natural grass that fools him into thinking it's sports turf.
I've never seen a natural grass field this perfect.
It is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. The paint, I mean, you got an orange sideline coming along the bottom side. You've got your orange block E with a white shadow at midfield. You've got your end zone artwork on the right side. It's a paw print. On the left side, you've got the word Bulldogs with a Tennessee Volunteer-style checkerboard, orange and green. And this is not field turf. This is natural grass.
You just assume it's sports turf when you see such beauty out there. And honestly, for you old people that used to putt-putt, it looked like a putt-putt golf course.
It really does.
I mean, it's short and just it's as green as can be.
Just absolutely, absolutely stunning. So as you could hear possibly through our headphones, the Elida Bulldogs have come out to the marching band, and they're standing there alongside, and we're going to have the Star Spangled Banner, so we're going to go ahead and pause for them as well. Dan, I think I got goosebumps.
I hope you're able to. We had to put our little microphones out there outside the window for you to hear that, and we hope you heard it as well as we did.
Oh, my gosh.
That's been my best
a
national
rare
anthem of the year.
To
Absolutely.
hear a live marching band of that size. You just don't see that a whole lot anymore. I guess we've not gone to Lakota West this year, some of the GMC schools. Maybe you get it there. But all right, so let's talk a little bit about the Monroe Hornets. And Monroe, they're very early in this development stage for Coach Bob Mullins. We've not seen them yet this year.
No, we haven't.
Chris Vogt and Joey have been basically hanging around with them for half of the season. He sends us up here. They can drive 2 hours and say, hey, Joel, Dan, why don't you guys come up here, take Monroe tonight? We'll come up and take Monroe. We don't care.
Absolutely.
A lot of triple option, Dan?
A lot of triple option. Monroe seems to be what I've been looking at is pretty run dominated.
Yes.
Their quarterback right now on the season, 228 yards. That would be good for maybe one game for a lot of teams, but 228 for the year, that shows you how dominating they are running the ball.
Yeah, they're going to have to try to get the run going. They played very well against the Madison Mohawks last week. That was kind of their breakout game. They felt really good about themselves. This is going to be a very much more quality opponent tonight in Elida.
Absolutely.
Now, Elida was 0-10 last year.
Okay.
The Elida Bulldogs were on a 16-game losing streak coming into this season, lost the 17th in a row on opening day against Van Wert, who's a very good football team. And then it all changed in week 2 when they beat the Ottawa Glandorf Titans 14-7.
Okay.
Ottawa Glandorf is 5-1 and is a defending co-champion of this Western Buckeye.
So a major upset.
Big-time win, put them on the map for Coach Kyle Harmon. Kyle Harmon was hanging around here already. He had wanted the coaching job when they gave it to the previous guy.
Okay.
And he's an Elida grad.
Okay.
So he's got a definite heartfelt connection to the Elida Bulldogs. I'm going to get this right, Dan.
Just think of someone telling you a lie. Lie.
Elida.
Lie. Looks like we're getting ready for the kickoff here, Joel.
Teams are out there with a minute left to go on the clock.
They are anxious and ready.
They can't wait. Looks like Elida has won the coin toss and is deferred.
Yes.
And so we're going to have the Monroe Hornets receiving the ball first. They're going to be going from right to left across your computer screen.
Or your radio dial for us old people.
The radio dial. Ball gets put on the tee for Aiden Bartels, the kicker for the Elida Bulldogs.
We can call them the Bulldogs, and we won't mess that up.
We can call them the Bulldogs. Very Bengal Tigerish in terms of their color scheme, Dan.
Very much. It looks like a perfect blend between the Bengals and the Browns. The Browns, as you know, have that orange top they wear, which I'm not a fan of, but they have orange with black pants, but it looks more, I'd say it looks more Browns than Bengals, but they do have the orange and black.
Black numbers, white trim, helmets, black, metallic black, almost like that newer matte type of helmet style.
Yeah.
One side of the helmet is a bright orange metallic number on the left side. On the right side of the helmet, a bright orange metallic E.
Right.
The Elida script E with some dog bones forming a stripe down the center.
That's
helmet
interesting.
Stickers.
Yeah.
And they did let the entire clock drip down as both teams are just standing there looking at each other. And the reason for that is because this playoff game is also being televised.
Okay.
For $7 a piece, you can watch it if you don't want to listen to our voices.
You thrifty people, stay with us. Save that $7. Order a pizza. Have it delivered.
Terry Myers wants to encourage people. He's the PA guy. He's been here 42 years, and he says the athletic department gets a cut of that $7. Big kickoff.
Very big.
For Bartels into the end zone, and that is going to be a touchback, rolling dead about 8 yards deep inside the end zone, and that is where the Monroe Hornets will begin their first drive of the game. Monroe coming out in their road whites, Dan.
Yes, white with looks like some yellow trim around the helmets, kind of a semi-Michigan look, I would say.
Yellow face mask.
Yellow face mask. Yeah, I like the new San Diego Chargers. San Diego Chargers, listen to me. Los Angeles Chargers.
There you go. You got the navy blue pants, navy blue numbers with the yellow trim. Yellow face masks. That's always interesting with the Monroe decal, the M around the circle on the side of the helmets there. And here comes Deaton to lead on onto the field, and the handoff goes up the middle to the fullback Elijah Jackson, and Jackson's going to bowl his way forward for about 7 yards.
That's just a great way to start from Monroe. It was just basically an off the left guard run straight at the middle with a fullback, and 7 yards. They started out really strong on that nice run.
That's going to be good. I mean, both of these schools are, I would say, categorized as up and coming.
Okay.
Neither one probably think they're completely there where they want to be yet, but they both feel like they're on the right track. We have a flex bone backfield, man in motion, and again the handoff goes up the middle to Elijah Jackson. Tries to carve his way across the 30-yard line, and he does for a first down, Hornets.
Another similar play to just the opposite side. They ran off the right guard this time. So trying to establish the line of scrimmage early here is the Monroe Hornets.
I would think for Monroe, the more defensive this game is, the lower scoring in general, the better off they're going to be, feeling like they're going to be hanging in here. Monroe, the 21 seed.
Yes.
Elida, the 12 seed. Winner of this game gets to play the Ross Rams at Robinson Field next week. We know a little thing about Ross.
Yes, we do.
Again, the fullback dive up the middle to Elijah Jackson, and he carves out another 4 yards and a cloud of, well, it would be dust if we had any dust.
It's a cloud of fresh grass clippings.
It's beautiful fresh grass. I've never walked in the field of the Rose Bowl, but, you know, that kind of.
Well, at halftime, we're going to have to go down there and well, or at least somehow get on that field. We have press passes. We were allowed on the field.
I'll let you wander there after the game. I was there talking to Dick Ballard before the game while you were driving up. And
okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous. Here's the snap to Deaton, and again the handoff to the fullback Jackson. He gets the least amount of room this time, and we have a little bit of shenanigans going down the field, but cooler heads do prevail before any referee goes ahead and throws a personal foul. This is going to set up Monroe with a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, it looks like Elida there is more prepared from the formation in that regard. They did stuff that play. So this is a big 3rd and 3 here. Let's see. What do you think, Joel? You think Monroe's going to run it again? I don't see why they shouldn't.
Well, this is all triple option type of stuff. And honestly, the way that this has gone, I wouldn't mind taking 2 cracks more at this fullback.
Oh, I agree.
See if you can, you know, it's 3rd and 3. If you can get the 3 yards on 2 plays here. Don't risk anything yet.
No.
Let's make sure Elida proves they can stop it. And Deaton keeps it.
Oh, nice.
Through.
Running hard.
And finally drugged down by Elida's linebacker, Tyler Carter. Actually, he's listed as a defensive back on the roster. Everybody caved in on the running back, fullback on that play, and he just tucked it and ran.
He had a 10-yard run there, just so you know, and they only needed 3, so it was a nice run option there, and the quarterback kept the ball and fooled everyone on Elida.
Triple option football. First read is the fullback, second read is the quarterback keeper, and third read is the pitch man wide. They've not gotten to that yet. I formation now. Fullback dive. Give it to the big guy again. Jackson continues to churn out some hard-fought yardage. 3 more yards there on first down. 3 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, it's a grinder. Most definitely a grinder here.
Last week, Dan, I was watching Chris and Joey's telecast.
Okay.
Monroe and Madison, both teams were keeping the ball on the ground. They were coming out of halftime around 7:45 p.m. Coming out of halftime.
Oh, my goodness.
That's how quickly that game, all the tackles are in bounds.
Wow.
And so far, that's been the case here. All the runs have been between the tackles. This is an I formation handoff to the tailback.
There we go.
And that's Blake Keaton. And Keaton is tackled by a couple of Bulldogs, Therese Russell, as well as the down lineman Dylan Harmon.
Yes,
Might be related to Coach Kyle Harmon. I'm not sure.
If it is, he's a good player.
Even if he's not, he's a good player.
Good point.
It's
Here
true.
we go. 3rd and 8. Now look at this formation. They have 2 wide receivers split on each side.
And now they're going to break it to a 4 wide.
Now they're going 4 wide. You're correct.
The 2 H-backs go ahead and split really wide. You do have a fullback behind Deaton. 4-3 defense going against the Monroe Hornets.
Now the quarterback backs up, and he's calling a timeout.
We have a timeout being taken by Monroe. So we will be back after this quick break. 7:55 left to go in the first quarter. Monroe and Elida tied at 0.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Back here at Kraft Memorial Stadium, Monroe has just taken their first time out of the first half.
It was a smart play. There was 2 seconds left on the clock. It prevented a delay of game, and right now it's 3rd and 8, so 3rd and 13 would have been really hard for them to probably get. So
Monroe really needs to stay on schedule.
Yes, they do.
I think you're right, Dan.
Here we go.
All right, flex bone formation here. DIII takes it. Hands it to the fullback up the middle, and he's not going to get more than a yard.
No, they were there.
Very conservative play call there, Dan.
Yeah, that was Dylan Harmon, the senior for Elida, the Bulldogs, with the tackle. Big guy, 6 foot, 265. He looks stockier than that to me.
he's a big guy.
Looks like we're going to go with a punt here, Joel.
Dick Ballard was telling me beforehand that the punter, Wyatt McPherson, might be the brightest spot of their entire team. He can boot at 70 yards in the air.
Wow. And
end over end.
Nice punt.
At the 20-yard line. Rolls inside the 20.
Beautiful.
Down to the 15 where it comes lying dead on the perfectly manicured grass. Down by the fullback, Elijah Jackson. And
let me give props to the punter there. We've been watching punting all year, and we've seen many high school players just boom the ball in the back of the end zone. This time he kicked it a little short and let it roll. Very smart play. They're down at the 15, so that's 5 yards. That makes a difference.
A little bit of a change-up almost there if you were a pitcher.
Absolutely.
All right. Check out MonroeLocalSchools.com for more information on all Monroe sports teams, your place to find up-to-date team schedules, stories about recent upcoming events, and information on the Monroe Athletic Boosters. Monroe actually has sponsored the fee that is owed the OHSAA tonight. And handoff up the middle.
Oh!
Ball comes loose and pops right back up into the arms of Larkin Henderson, the running back.
Wow.
Big break there for Elida. That could have gone south real early.
Yeah, and amazingly, the ball popped forward, so they got 6 yards on the play.
6 yards on the fumble rooski.
Exactly.
Apparently, the former coach for Elida ran 5 wide receiver spread, throwing the ball all over the field.
Okay.
And so
the Dave Worth offense.
You see a lot of remnants still. They're going to run it a lot more than they did under the old coach, but you're going to see at least remnants of that.
Nice
the pass
play.
goes from Henderson.
Carter Harsh.
Carter Harsh, yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Harsh makes the catch, and he is out across the 30-yard line to the 31 and taken out of bounds by the Hornets. That's going to be a 1st and 10 for Elida. 6:32 left to go in the first quarter. Joel Sackenheim, Dr. Dan Vogt, pleased to have you with us all the way up here in the Lima Metropolitan Complex.
Yes.
Shotgun formation, man in motion, fakes
Fake.
the jet.
He's going deep.
Big cannon of an arm, but overthrows his man. That's Jaden Irons, the intended receiver. Larkin Henderson, the quarterback. He does have a very live arm, Dan.
I think the adrenaline was flowing pretty highly there because he overthrew him by about 10 yards. I mean, no one could have caught that ball.
Monroe coaching staff told me before the game that there's a lot of jet sweep type of motion and action in this Elida offense. Not that they always hand it to the jet sweeper, but it forces the defense to stretch horizontally to defend everything.
Yeah, it keeps them honest. You're right.
A lot of Sean Payton type of tendencies there. He would
go.
do a lot of that. And there is the jet sweep.
sweep.
No, another fumble
Wow.
by Larkin Henderson. And he falls on top of it for a gain of 0.
I'll tell you what. When they get off the field, they're going to have to talk to each other because he's putting that ball in his breadbasket, and the running back is wanting to grab it, and it's caused 2 fumbles already here.
Right. Etzkorn, number 7, is the receiver in motion.
Yes.
And Larkin Henderson, the quarterback, they're having a hard time with that mesh point, trying to get that all coordinated. So here we go, 3rd and 10 for the Bulldogs. 4 wide receivers
to the right
side.
And he's rolling right.
And he's rolling right. Got a rusher coming. Runs out of room at the sideline. runs into the water bottles.
And he throws the ball out of bounds.
Knocks the referee into the water bottles, and the ball sails out of bounds intended for Carter Harsh, and the Monroe defense has a stop, Dan.
That was strong defense by Monroe. I mean, they played beautifully on the long bomb that was well overthrown, but back there I was watching Jack Taylor was back there in the defensive backfield, preventing that long bomb from being completed.
It's early at Kumler Field.
Yes.
Very early at Kumler Field, like 13 seconds into the ball game, as the punt is going to be fair caught.
I don't think he did fair catch it.
On one knee, kind of fair caught-ish.
Well, he got tackled, so if he really fair caught
Alex
it, we'd see a flag.
No flag was thrown. It was hand kind of went up a little bit in the air, and not like really. Waving at him as he's getting hit there. Pitch falls on it. So, yes, very early at Kumler Field, the opening kickoff for Columbus West has been taken to the house. And the Cowboys lead the Edgewood Cougars 6-0 on the first play of the game.
Come on, Edgewood.
Columbus West is 1-21 in their last 22 games.
Oh, well, that might be their only score of the night. So let them have their fun here.
This is their high water mark. This is their angle at Gettysburg, right?
That's right.
Deaton, handoff to Jackson up the middle. 3 yards into another sea of humanity.
This Monroe Hornets offense would make Woody Hayes proud, let me tell you something. This is classic old school, mano, and they are dominating the line of scrimmage. They just if you look at the size difference there, Joel, the offensive line of Monroe is very large compared to Elida. Now, Elida's nose man's a pretty large guy.
They got a couple guys in the middle, but then they're taller and lankier on the outside in the linebacking core.
You're right.
3 running backs. One goes toward the left in motion.
There he goes.
Up the center to Jackson. He's broken across the 40.
He's
across
rumbling.
the 30 toward the 20-yard line where he's finally brought down by Gunnar Kuhn of the Bulldogs. Biggest gain for either team of the game. And it's going to be 1st and 10 Monroe at the Elida 22-yard line. Big gain.
Nice speed by the fullback there. I mean, he was in the secondary, and Gunnar just took him for a ride for about 7 or 8 yards there. It shows you the strength in the legs of the fullback.
Definitely the man in motion. We've not really seen a lot of outside runs from Monroe.
No, we haven't.
They have given it a little bit of window dressing. I formation now with 2 running backs or 2 receivers to the right.
Quarterback fake. Beautiful fake. And he is
up inside the 5-yard line.
He's in.
He's at the 3.
Oh, my.
He's at the 3. Yep.
Okay.
We're at an odd angle in the press box here, exactly.
Well, I have this metal barrier right
The metal barrier
hurts
you a little bit. It does. Colin Deaton faked that handoff to the running back and took it all the way to the 3-yard line. It is a 1st and goal.
Joel, it was such a beautiful fake that 3 Elida Bulldogs tackled the man he faked it to. I mean, they thought they had a 2-yard gain. That was it.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Here we go. 1st and goal for the Hornets. Look for the fullback dive here.
Elida stacked them up, Joel.
And not a lot of gain. It's no gain at all. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 2.
Joel, you saw the play there where if he would have just pitched it to the man in motion, it would have been an easy touchdown.
It's hard, having not run that yet, to know what your speed is going to match up on the outside of the 3-yard line, but I do hear what you're saying.
Yes.
I absolutely hear what you're saying. Scoring update from Kumler Field. Edgewood on their first offensive play has broken off a 96-yard touchdown run.
Wow.
Handoff to Jackson, the tailback. He's got half
close.
of the yardage. It's going to be down about the 1.5-yard line.
So that is a wham-bang game there, I'll tell you.
They're 29 seconds into the game down at Edgewood, and they've already seen 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's some action.
We're down to 3:18 and ticking here in the first quarter.
They're at the 1-yard line, and it is 3rd and goal.
You probably have 2 plays to punch this baby in. Big power formation.
Quarterback sneak, my
tried
favorite
to jump.
play.
He's over the top.
Nice.
He's being lifted almost like he's being carried as a coach after a game.
It was a rugby, man. They just picked him up and pushed him in, the other players.
He looked like
Monroe.
Buddy Ryan at the end of Super Bowl 20. He was trying to be Fridge Perry and he ended up being Buddy Ryan.
I watched the movie Rudy last night. I'm sure you've seen that.
I've seen
and
Rudy.
when Rudy was carried off the field at the end, that's what the quarterback looked like. He was just about half a player higher than everyone else.
Colin Deaton.
Yes.
He basically ran it right up the middle. There was no room. He hit the triangle button and ended up floating across the goal line with the running backs behind him, just keeping them on their shoulders across the end, across the goal line. It's going to be extra point coming as Jackson Janish Lines up to kick it for the Hornets. Ball's down. Kick is up. Kick is good. 3:03 left to go in the first quarter.
Nice start for the Hornets.
Monroe Hornets 7. Elida Bulldogs nothing.
Performance Toyota Superstore invites you to save. Money, that is. Overstocked pre-owned vehicles have forced us to wholesale direct to you. Our loss is your gain. Everything is on sale. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Every deal will be made. Keep your stimulus check and just show up and drive. If you want it, we've got it. Every style, every color, every model. It's used cars for everyone. Only at your Performance Toyota Superstore. Go to performancetoyotastore.com.
And we're back, and another out-of-town scoreboard update as I'm looking at Chris Voigt's camera here on Twitter as Anthony Scott just put in a 3-yard touchdown run for Edgewood. They're up 13-6 on Columbus West.
Wow.
With 9:47 left to go in the first.
It's going to be 70-68. Yes, yes. I'll bet the over on that game, Joel.
Edgewood was not happy giving up that opening kickoff return.
That's right.
Ball on the tee for Jackson Janish as Monroe will kick off. Up 7-0 here in this Titanic struggle.
Nah,
and now
Marty,
the ball
Marty.
falls off the tee, and it's going to need to be put back on.
When you said Titanic, the ball fell down. The ball knew. You can't. There's only one Marty Brenneman, Joel.
There is only one Marty Brenneman. That's true. It's a long fly ball. All right, so the ball back up on the tee. Whistle has blown. 7-0 Monroe lead here early as Elida is going to have to see how well they can respond. This will only be their second offensive drive of the game. They moved it okay the first drive. And got
Yeah, they
stopped.
did.
Deep kickoff to about the 12-yard line. It is returned there by number 11. That is Jaden Irons. He runs it out past the 25-yard line, and it's going to be decent starting field position for the Bulldogs.
And that was Alex, is it Pitch?
Pitch.
And Wyatt McPherson on the tackle.
The punter.
Yes. I like those aggressive punters.
That's right. The Pat McAfee Award this year goes to. 1st and 10, Elida on their own 26-yard line. Elida Bulldogs, proud members of the Western Buckeye League. Another score we're going to keep an eye on in that league tonight.
Yes.
Conference rivals, Wapakoneta traveling very close to here to play Lima Shawnee. Run up the middle by the quarterback, that is Larkin Henderson. He runs it for about 5 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 5.
Nice sportsmanship there for Monroe. They picked up the quarterback, patted him. It's nice to see that. Aiden Sargent on the tackle.
Always nice, always nice. Wapakoneta is the road team for that game.
Okay.
They are the 18 seed. They played Lima Shawnee 3 weeks ago, and Shawnee beat them 9-7.
Oh, wow.
Larkin Henderson, the quarterback, keeps it, fakes the jet sweep, runs into a swarm of Hornets, and ends up with the loss of a yard as there's absolutely no room for Henderson to go.
Yeah. I'd say Tanner Chaston was first on the tackle there. Interesting, they had 2 guys going to the right, and the quarterback faked giving it to him, ran to the left, and he was smashed. So this is going to bring up a 3rd and 6. So big play here for both teams. Elida obviously wants to keep the drive alive, and Monroe would get decent field position if they could have a stop here.
Early in the first quarter, Moeller has taken an 8-0 lead.
Roll
on
out to the
Hamilton
right.
High.
He's
Roll
getting
out
flushed.
Henderson, runs out of room.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's just great defense by Monroe. I'll tell you. Which Monroe's the 22 seed, you said?
Monroe's the 21 seed.
21, and Elida?
Elida is the 12.
Wow, it looks like the numbers should be flip-flopped the way they're playing right now.
So far, so good for Coach Mullins. He's got to be
Yes.
happy with what he's seeing there. He does. A couple times we've seen Larkin Henderson roll out toward the right and kind of run out of real estate before anybody opened up for him on a pass play.
Well, he's smart enough to throw it out of bounds and not throw it across his body and get it picked in the middle of the field. Here comes the punt.
Big boom.
Oh, yes, fair
High
catch.
hang time. And that is once again the return man, Alex Pitch,
Okay.
who fair catches the ball at the 35-yard line. And let's go ahead and bring up this Division III bracket, Dan, just like we were talking about earlier here. And, yes, that's an image of Elida's stadium behind if anybody at home wants to see kind of what we're looking at a little bit. This is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so you see that our game now is Elida Monroe, the 12-21 game. Winner of that game is going to have number 5, Ross. And then right below that is that Lima Shawnee Wapakoneta game. Wapakoneta is always, every year, up at the top of these league standings. They started off 0-4 this year.
Okay.
Winner of that game tonight is going to travel and play Baden at a site to be determined, because if Edgewood wins tonight, Edgewood's going to be hosting a game at Kumler Field at the same time as Baden's going to be
Interesting, yes.
Friday. Handoff up the middle.
Slow developing dive play off the right side there. They're definitely counting on their guards.
Elijah Jackson was again the running back there. He's had a steady diet of work, and that is perfectly fine for Bob Mullins. He's not going to complain one bit about that. So, yes, Wapakoneta was the number 2 seed last year in this region. They started off 0-4. They finally got their feet underneath them. They lost a lot of seniors to graduation after last year as the fake handoff, kept by Deaton. Runs, he's got some motor. Room. He's across midfield, puts the ball on the ground.
He was
the
down.
Referee, the side judge, marks him down first, which I thought was correct, and I think you did too.
I agree.
Okay. First and 10. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was okay. The first play, just so you know, it gained only 4 yards, but boy, that play, what, about 20?
Yeah.
Nice play.
And the fullback was blown up on that play.
He was blown up.
The right read by Deaton to not hand it to him.
Okay. A little confusion there with the Bulldogs.
Yep.
On defense.
Substitution coming in.
Now they're getting lined up.
Last note on Wapak, they had 6 of their starters. After they lost everybody to graduation,
right.
6 of their starters then tested positive for COVID in the first week.
Oh, my.
How about that? Snap. Deaton hands it off to the fullback. Neither one of them had any room. I think he wanted to hand it and then tried to not hand it and then just kind of let the ball go in the belly of the fullback there. Nothing there.
Earlier tonight you said the Bulldogs, that would be Elida. They had a 4-man front. There was 5 up there that time. So
they're trying to key a little more on the fullback.
Kind of cheating, yes.
Monroe does not need to snap this ball here. We're down below 10 seconds, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
That is a fast-moving first quarter, isn't it?
We're not at all surprised. So, end of the first quarter. How about it? The 21 seed Monroe Hornets have a 7-0 lead on the road at the Western Buckeye League's number 12 seed Elida Bulldogs. We'll be right back on the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Performance Toyota Superstore invites you to save. Money, that is. Overstocked pre-owned vehicles have forced us to wholesale direct to you. Our loss is your gain. Everything is on sale. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Every deal will be made. Keep your stimulus check and just show up and drive. If you want it, we've got it. Every style, every color, every model. It's used cars for everyone. Only at your Performance Toyota Superstore. Go to performancetoyotastore.com.
Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota.
All right, we're back here at Roger Kraft Memorial Stadium. Dan, do you know anything about Roger Kraft?
No, I do not. I think he dabbled in the cheese industry a little bit.
Give me some background, sir, on Roger Kraft.
Well, Terry Myers knows Roger Kraft. He's our PA guy. He actually played with Roger Kraft.
Obviously, he's laughing at me. My cheese was way off base. He's nodding, yes.
This is actually a really sad and heartwarming story. We're going to weave this in here as we're getting ready to start the second quarter.
Okay.
As Colin Deaton brings the Hornets triple option up. They're at their Elida 45-yard line. He keeps it instead of hands it off. Runs into the nose tackle. Big number 77, Dylan Harmon, ends up getting about 4 yards on the carry. It's going to be set up a 3rd down and medium.
Yeah, that was good just to get a manageable 3rd down on that play. Now they have a chance to run 2 consecutive plays and pick up 5 yards if you're looking at it from the Hornets' perspective.
Or you may even try to punt it because you like the way your defense is playing. I mean,
the
way your punter is playing. This is
both teams are kicking well tonight.
This is probably the best special teams we've seen, I would think, of any game we've called all year long.
Certainly.
Definitely props to McPherson there and Janish. Handoff to Jackson up the middle.
He breaks it
to the 10 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Hornets.
Wow.
Elijah Jackson from 41 yards. Hello.
Wow. As the PA announcer said, there was a missed arm tackle on the play, and I didn't see who it was. I'm sorry about that.
I got to say, my least favorite kind of arm tackle is a missed arm tackle. What about you? my goodness. Terry Myers agrees. He's nodding.
Here's the extra point.
Here's the snap for Janish. Kick is up.
And through.
Kick is good. 11-13 remaining. And the Monroe Hornets have a 14-0 lead. How about it? All right, go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say, Joel, can you bring up Monroe's previous games? I want to know what their scoring ability is here. That's a good stat to know because we were looking at Elida, and they were winning a lot of games 14-6, 7-3, low-scoring games. So for Monroe to bust out with 14 points here this early, I'm wondering if Elida has the firepower to come back.
Let's see. You want to pull up Monroe's schedule here? It
Sure.
Looks like they lost to Franklin 17-0, lost to Valley View 31-7. There's no shame in losing to Valley View.
No.
They got their first win over Eaton by 7 points.
30 points in that game.
30 points in that game. They did have 28 against Madison last week.
So let's see, 28, 21, 30, and then their losses were single digits. So they can
do have a 21-1 loss.
Okay, so they can put some points on the board. Now let's compare that to Elida. Joel has his
got JoeIdle.com, right?
Oh yes, and yeah.
Elida's played a few more defensive type of scores.
Yes, they have.
Mid-teens, early 20s.
Right. So Elida, you probably want to expect about 21 points a game out of this team, and they're already down 14-0. So their defense has got to put a lid on it right now.
We're going to see how well that passing game goes with Larkin Henderson. They've not been able to get that thing rolling a whole lot very well yet. So Jackson Janish to kick things off for the Hornets.
Oh, what a kick he is.
He blasts that to the 3-yard line where it's retrieved by the Bulldogs. And they run out of room. Gunnar Kuhn is tackled inside the 20-yard line at their own 16. There aren't a ton of Monroe fans here with the social distancing regulations.
Right.
But they're noisy. You can hear them.
You can hear them.
All
Absolutely.
the way across the field.
Now, Joel, are they still limited to only parents of the band and the football players, or can anyone from Monroe come out, drive all the way up here and watch
There's a limited number of seats available, and because it's a playoff game, it's also done through the OHSAA. There's some extra things going on there.
Okay.
So I've seen some posts from some schools about students and players have certain codes that they can give you to be able to get it at the website. High snap to Henderson. He bobbles it and retrieves it and falls down for a 2-yard loss. Elida's offense has not gotten going so far, Dan. Not at all.
No, and I'll attribute that to Monroe's defense. It's that simple. Now, that was a bad snap, a high snap, and the play just fell apart after he finally grabbed the snap, and it was over with. So
Monroe's defense has taken full advantage of all of Elida's mistakes other than being able to fall on a loose ball. They've not been able to do it, but everything else they've had, as there's the jet sweep. Finally, they do make the hand successfully to the wideout, Andrew Etzkorn. And Etzkorn has a productive gain there. He's going to gain about 10 yards. Not enough for a first down after the first bad snap. It's going to be a 3rd down.
Yeah, Jack Taylor on the tackle there for Monroe.
Yeah, so with Elida, it's been really difficult. They've really shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they have.
Quite a bit.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout here. They're pulling the players off the field as the clock is
trying to see what's going on here. As we've got, I wonder if there's an injury by the sideline that we can't see. The teams are in the huddle.
Somebody's hurt. Thank you.
Go. So going on what we were talking about earlier about Roger Kraft.
Yes.
Roger Kraft actually was a senior football player here at Elida.
Okay.
And he ended up, Terry, you would know this actually. Were they leather helmets back in the day? Were you guys, you were not in the leather helmet era. This was post leather helmet era, but I saw this feature that had been run. Apparently, he hit somebody so hard in this game that his helmet cracked, and it ended up causing a brain aneurysm for himself. So, okay, we're back to action here.
3rd and 3 here.
Cap that story off in a little bit. 10.5 minutes.
Another
high snap. Larkin Henderson keeps it. Ball batted down by Monroe Hornets number 56, Chandler Holler. Nobody blocked him. The bad snap happened, and Holler went right after the quarterback, and that drive ends very quickly.
And he was going to go deep on the play. They had the ball at the 23, and I looked downfield, and there was a receiver at the 50-yard line. So Elida was going to go deep, but I thought there was good coverage by the Hornets on the play. But it would have been interesting to see if that would have been completed. But good defense deflecting the pass like that.
The punter comes out, And I'm looking for a number there. Looks like it's number 30, Aiden Bartels.
They need a big kick out of him.
A lot of hang time. Not as much distance, but good hang time.
Nice
Takes a
roll.
good Elida bounce. It's back across midfield and spins dead at Monroe's 46-yard line. Other notes from the Monroe Athletic Boosters. Follow the Hornets on Twitter with in-game updates. More information at Hornets in-game. You can like Monroe High School on Facebook. Follow the information on the Hornet teams, past and present. Attention Hornet fans, next Tuesday the 13th, the girls soccer team and volleyball team both face off against Valley View. Volleyball starts at 6:30 and soccer starts at 7:15. The boys soccer team also plays Thursday the 15th against Eaton starting at 7:15. So Monroe has the ball now coming out. They're at their own 46-yard line. Deaton keeps it, does not pitch it, ends up running for a 0-yard gain.
Yes, Mike Niebel on the tackle for the Bulldogs, a junior.
Not a lot of room there for running. So, yes, Roger Kraft has a brain aneurysm.
Yes.
He's taken out of the game, medicine in 1959. I don't know what's going on, but eventually wanders back onto the field for a bit.
Yeah.
Ends up collapsing. They took him in an ambulance.
Oh, my.
And the ambulance ends up getting stuck behind a train. They can't get him to the hospital in time, and he actually died in the ambulance. That is who the stadium is named after. Big tragedy here in Elida back in 1959, 61 years ago, probably right around this time of year. Timeout being taken by Monroe. So we'll finish the story here during the timeout.
Okay.
So, as it turns out, there was a big, huge movement back then in 1959 from a lot of concerned mothers when that story broke the news in the newspapers all over the state about their sons playing football, being too dangerous. And Mrs. Kraft actually took out an article in most of the Ohio newspapers and basically thanked the parents, the mothers, for praying for her own family.
Okay.
And said that her son, Roger, died doing what he absolutely loved most.
Wow.
And that Roger would not want the other boys to be banned from playing football.
What a great guy.
So she's a woman of faith and said that Roger was ready to go spiritually and that she hopes that all of the other boys playing football will be ready whenever God calls for their time to come home. So that's
and hopefully not during football.
Hopefully not during football as a high school senior. But the PA announcer next to us, Terry Myers, actually was a freshman on the team and was there that day when that happened over at Pandora Stadium about 20 miles away or so. Back to the action.
Quarterback keeper basically up the middle.
Deaton keeps it for about 5 yards. It's going to be a 3rd and 5. They are across midfield now, or maybe they put the beanbag right at midfield.
It's become a field position domination right now also by Monroe. I mean, they're keeping Elida way on their end of the field. They're getting the ball between the 40 and 50-yard line. So even if they fail on this 3rd down, boom, they're going to have Elida right back, inside their own 20.
You've got 2-score lead and the ball and the field position. Pretty good.
Oh.
Wow. The fake handoff was to Jackson. Deaton kept it, and he got buried in the backfield.
Yeah, that's where Deaton would if he had to do it over again, he would have handed it off. Big Dylan Harmon there, the senior, 77 for the Elida Bulldogs with the tackle.
We've called his name a lot tonight, Dan. He's been busy.
He is. Boy, he's running off the field now, shaking his fist. I like his fire.
McPherson's going to come out and show off that cannon of a leg of his. He's standing at his own 33-yard line.
Now, interesting, Elida
way deep is Elida.
They have 2 guys back there. They do not want the ball. He's kicking it away from him.
Coffin corner angle, rolls to the 10-yard line where it's picked up on a hop and returned by Jaden Irons, and he runs it out past the 20-yard line. It's going to be a 1st down and 10. Elida at around their own 23 or so.
That was Blake Keaton on a tackle for the Monroe Hornets.
Dan, are you surprised by this?
Yes, I am. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't know a lot about Elida. Chris, who gave us this assignment, said he didn't know much about this team. But, with this 4-2 record and this lofty seeding, I was expecting them to be obviously the favorite. So Monroe's taking it to him early here.
Yeah, Monroe has had the better of the action. Larkin Henderson keeps it on the fake handoff. Runs it up the middle as a bit of a quarterback power and takes it out to the 30-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 6.
That's probably the most effective run play they've had here in the first half.
Wapak and Lima Shawnee were 9-7 the last time they played each other. They are scoreless after 1 quarter.
Okay.
Just down the road at Lima Shawnee High School. End of the first quarter, Talawanda leads Belmont 21-7 over there in Oxford. The handoff to the running back, Andrew Etzkorn.
Nice run.
He's going to break it for about 10 yards. I'm just kind of chuckling at the Elida fan base. They are so eager to cheer for their team.
Yes.
That was a good play.
It was good.
It wasn't game deciding, but they sounded like it.
Well, they're kind of desperate, and there's nothing wrong with that. Blake Keaton had him in the back, well, not in the backfield, but for a minimal gain, but he shredded the tackle, and what did he get, about 15 yards on that?
About 10, yeah. Larkin Henderson, the quarterback, takes it right up the gut and is tackled by Sargent and McPherson. Gets about a 2-yard gain there as Elida is approaching midfield. They are now at their own 43-yard line as the clock drips down below 7 minutes left to go in the second quarter of play. Elida needs to get some points on the board here, Dan.
Yeah, the consistency in the beanbag colors kind of throwing me for a loop here, fans. All year long I've been seeing red beanbags. Well, this beanbag is the exact color of a penalty flag. So I saw the beanbag flying and thought there was a penalty. All right.
Up the middle, that's the handoff to Andrew Etzkorn, and Etzkorn's going to get about a yard only, and it's going to set up a 3rd down and 6 for the Bulldogs.
And Chandler Holler on the tackle.
Well, what do you call if you're Elida here, Dan?
I say you got to throw the ball because they're set up for the pass here. They got two out on the right, one in the slot who's now in motion to the right.
And we have a man jump off sides for Monroe. That's Tanner Chastain. Got a little bit antsy. We got a referee microphone. This is the first flag we've had all game.
Wow, we do have a mic'd ref. That's impressive. Well, it is playoffs, so they've amped it up.
Well, and Elida's got a world-class facility here.
We have a play clock over there in the end zone, Joel.
It's pretty good stuff. I mean, what
it's
more do you
very
want?
good.
This is what high school football should look like. Honestly, it's probably similar to Barnett's Field. It's the closest thing to Butler County, except with the very pristine natural grass. 3rd and 1 now. High snap again. Juggled and juggled and juggled. Larkin Henderson does get across midfield. They are having all kinds of snap issues.
I'll tell you, great effort by the quarterback there. He had to grab that high snap. He's not very tall, but just looking at him, I bet he's, 5'8", 5'9". We'll have to see how tall that quarterback
Larkin
is.
Henderson, 5'9", Dan.
There you go. Thank you.
You got him sized up.
Well, it almost went over his head. He juggled it twice and still was able. I thought he was going to lose yardage. He still got 2 yards.
Give me his dental records when you get a second.
2 fillings.
2 fillings.
Low tartar. Here we go.
Handoff on the jet sweep.
Nice tackle.
Up the middle for Henderson. Met by Blake Keaton of the Hornets.
Boy.
Gain about a yard.
Blake is active tonight, isn't he? I have called his name a lot.
He's been around. 5 minutes remaining as the Elida Bulldogs are across midfield. This is a very critical drive here in this game, Dan.
It's a Monroe Hornet type drive, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah, it's like 3-4 yards, just marching down.
It's like working Novocaine, right? You got to be very patient and let it kind of set a little bit.
There's
Henderson
a pass.
Rolls out,
Ooh.
overthrows his intended receiver, Gunnar Kuhn. There are about 5 Hornets around that ball where it landed. It was not going to go anywhere well for Elida on that particular play.
I didn't necessarily like that play call there. I mean, they're doing well running the ball. Now they stop the clock. 4 minutes, 30 seconds, 31 and a half.
Yeah.
It sets them up now 3rd and long. Give them 4 or 5 yards on a run. It's a whole different game.
Yeah. Elida's got to figure out what they want to do.
Yeah.
Offensively, whether they want to be a running team, a passing team. They're trying a little bit of everything, and nothing really is.
If you could do both like the Baden Rams have shown us this year, then do both. But
roll out right. Larkin Henderson looks down the field. Got a man.
Got him.
Caught him. That's Gunnar Kuhn.
Nice.
Kuhn catches it around the 35-yard line, spins outside, gets about 3 more yards before he is tackled, and it is a 1st and 10 Elida. Big play for the Bulldogs.
Best play of the night for the Bulldogs, absolutely.
I would agree. And this drive being so important because if Elida does not score, Monroe gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
That's right. They deferred.
Correction, I'm wrong. Elida's getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Elida kicked it off. So
oh, wow.
Never mind.
You're right.
I stand corrected on that one. Took me a second to roll the tape back in my own head. Jet sweep to Andrew Edscorn, and there is no room there as Alex pitch meet him in the backfield all the way by the sideline as they stretched that jet sweep way out wide, and there was no room for him to tuck that ball up, Dan.
I'll tell you, they were absolutely fortunate that they didn't get a block in the back called on them either. So I like these officials compared to the ones last week that had about 34 penalties in the game. Oh, my goodness.
Another score from our bracket tonight. This is the most Dayton-Cincinnati Public School update ever. Dunbar blocks an Aiken punt and picks it up and rolls into the end zone with it. 12-0 Dunbar.
He's going
big
deep.
Hit for Henderson.
Oh, he might be hurt. He might be hurt. He's getting up.
Legally, Chandler Holler again breaks into the backfield. Whoever his lineman is trying to block him is missing him. He ran right past him. Henderson tried to throw that ball, and he just got absolutely George Foreman rope-a-doped into the rib cage.
Yeah, he looked like Joe Frazier when he got hit. He just got knocked backwards. I mean, he was winding up to throw the ball deep, so it was like he was leaning forward. It was boom, they hit each other, maximum impact. And, of course, you know, the lineman there probably outweighs him by 60 pounds, so he obviously went backwards.
Henderson, blitz coming. Running out of time, throws it back across his body.
Oh, my goodness.
It is caught. It is going to be short of the first down by Gunnar Kuhn. That's obviously the favorite receivers. Henderson got nailed again at the end of that hit.
I'm telling you.
That was Connor Loper.
It was a big play, though, for Elida because now it's only 4th and, 6 there?
Yeah, it would have been 4th and about 13. They gain about 7 yards on the play. Elida's going to have a chance to go for this here. Down to 2:45 remaining in the second quarter of play.
Okay, play clock down to 13. I like seeing that.
If Elida can score before the half and they get the ball coming to start the second half, they're going to feel much better about how this half has gone. Very few things have really gone right for the Dogs tonight.
Play clock down to 1.
And a timeout.
They called a timeout just
by
the time.
Elida.
Wow.
We will take it with them. So, 2 minutes, 27 seconds left to go in the half. The Monroe Hornets leading on the road, 14-0 over the Bulldogs.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Back here at Kraft Stadium. And the Elida Bulldogs trying to mount something. It's going to be a 4th and 5 coming up here. You can see the bracket, Elida and Monroe, the 12-21 game toward the center there of this graphic. Winner's going to get to play the Ross Rams next week. We welcome any Ross fans that are listening into us, trying to get a little bit of a glimmer as to what is going on here in Elida. 4th and 5.
Quarterback's in the shotgun.
Big play. Larkin Henderson, no running backs with him. He's going to roll out to the left. He's got Gunnar Kuhn wide open, and the ball is batted down by Alex Pitch. He could have thrown that ball a lot earlier, and once again, Larkin Henderson gets up with a fistful of grass.
Well, I'll tell you.
Planted to the ground again.
Aiden Sargent put the hit on him, and then he reached his arm down to, pick up the quarterback, and the quarterback was just so dejected that he didn't get the 4th down that he just said, nah, let me just lay here a minute.
One score near and dear to your heart tonight. Franklin Heights Golden Falcons making their playoff debut because everybody is.
Yes.
They're down 28-0 to Troy.
Yeah, that's my wife's alma mater up near Columbus, Ohio. They've always been bad.
This will set up Troy and Edgewood potentially next week if those two scores are going to hold. Edgewood at the end of the first is up 27-6 over the West Cowboys, also of Columbus.
First play was just a 1 yard, maybe a half-yard gain for Monroe. Interesting, they're just letting that clock run. Now they have 2 timeouts left, Joel. Let's see what kind of clock management Monroe has here.
My hunch, try to get this thing into halftime.
Okay, so don't try and score here.
If you end up punching it like the 41-yard touchdown run, all the better.
Yeah.
But there is absolutely no incentive for Monroe, who has played one of the most conservative game plans we have seen.
Look at that. 9 men in the box there. And,
Handoff, fullback dive.
There he goes.
Jackson up the middle. He's now across midfield. Churns another 20 yards.
And the clock stops. And
clock pauses, yep.
And I'll tell you, I think you might now they're suddenly moving up with some quickness now, Monroe.
Well, they do have a good field goal kicker.
Okay.
So they can get into field goal range. The clock will wind and is now winding. We're below a minute and a half. Monroe is across midfield at the Elida 49-yard line. They're now in the shotgun formation.
Here we go.
With Jackson alongside of him. Deaton's going to look to throw for the first time today.
And he gets out of bounds.
Quick out to Blake Keaton, who catches it 4 yards downfield, runs out of bounds, and stops the clock at 1 minute and 17 seconds.
On the previous play there, on the running play that was so well played, Elida had 9 men in the box, and they still ran it
right up the middle.
It was impressive.
This is a fairly conservative game plan we're seeing from Monroe. They're not
working.
They're not taking a whole lot of chances, but it's working. That's exactly right. Same play.
Ooh.
Ball off the fingertips this time of Keaton, from Deaton to Keaton.
and was almost picked off when it went off his fingertips.
That's correct. It nearly bounced upward and does fall harmlessly to the turf before it was intercepted. And so it's going to be a 3rd down and 6. And again, here's where Monroe, it's great that you got a 20-yard run, but you don't want to do anything foolish here. You know, you don't want to give Elida any points. Keep them bottled up. If you got to punt it, you got to punt it. Handoff up the middle to Jackson.
Nice
He's
move.
He's going to try to stumble his way.
He got
spins
the
off
first
a guy.
down, Joel.
He is right there at the marker.
And they stop the clock. Yes, they're stopping it. That means it is a first down.
And they're calling it a first down. They are. Good eye there, Dan.
All right, they need to get in a hurry up now. They're down to 1 minute and 6. They do have 2 timeouts, Joel.
One. Just one.
Oh, okay. They didn't fix that on the scoreboard.
No,
there.
Elida has got 2.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So here we go. There's the snap.
Roll out.
Throw. And again, that is thrown behind Keaton. And there was also Ish Moss there. Ball kind of fell in between the 2 receivers.
Yeah, Ish was saying you should have let that go. I would have caught that, but he kind of split the difference there.
There you go.
Neither one of them got it.
That was intended for Keaton. Ish. Yes.
His name is Ishmael. That's where you get the Ish from.
Call me Ishmael. Ishmael Moss. Yes. 2nd and 10 for the Monroe Hornets.
And we have a whistle.
Again, are in a throwing situation, but they really would prefer not to have to throw the football. It's a very bizarre set of circumstances they're in where you want to be as aggressive as you can get away without being foolish.
Straight run up the middle. Oh.
Flag. This is going to be a hold.
Yes,
it is.
As
Deaton runs out of bounds with enough yardage for the first down, but this is going to be a hold and it's going to come back. The hold was 6 yards in the backfield, so this is going to be a very brutal penalty.
Yeah, I believe that was Chandler Holler with the hold, and it was on Dylan Harmon. So we've said both of those gentlemen's names tonight.
That was a design passing play, and Deaton didn't like what he saw and didn't have enough time to see anything else and took off and ran. So now the Monroe Hornets, who were driving, are now going to have a 2nd down and very, very long from their own 44-yard line.
2nd 27.
Wow. This is going to be run the ball and get into halftime now.
Yeah.
There
you go.
Ish Moss.
Oh, he breaks it.
He's going to break it.
He's
got
flying.
Some room.
He's got speed.
Toward the right sideline.
He is going to score
zone? I
easily.
Don't believe it. Touchdown, Monroe Hornets. Are you kidding me?
Ishmael Moss running like Randy Moss on that play.
Wow.
Was
so you get a 17-yard holding penalty. You don't really want to throw the football. You're just going to try to run out the half. They hand it to the second guy and use the fullback as a lead blocker, which they've not done much
And
tonight.
the fake to the initial fake to the fullback worked well because Elida bit on that gentleman, and they ran wide, and he just outran the secondary and scored.
56-yard touchdown run when they're trying to simply run out the clock and not really trying to strike a big play.
That's a dagger.
Oh, my gosh. Extra point is up.
And good.
Extra point is good.
Impressive kicking, too, by Monroe tonight.
Wow.
I mean, these extra points are 35-yard field goals, Joel. I mean, they are hammering them back into the woods.
21-0. Monroe, hello.
Okay, so once again, who does Monroe, if Monroe were to win this game, who would they play next? The Ross Rams.
The Ross Rams. Here's
now,
the
Ross
Division
has
III
been
bracket.
pretty strong this year, with the exception of their opener against Baden. They have ran the table, haven't they?
They have undefeated in the SWAC, outright conference champions.
Wow.
Congratulations to Coach Cummins. That's very, very good year for them. And Monroe, they're coming. They're coming.
They are coming.
Now, Ross is going to basically see a mirror image at them next week because Ross runs the triple option also.
Wow.
It's the best ever practice. It's practicing against your own team. How about the Hornets, though?
What do you do if you're Elida here? This is interesting. You have 36 seconds. You have 2 timeouts. You can throw the ball, or do you just run it off tackle and say, let's regroup? I don't think they're going to risk a turnover here, Joel.
With 36 seconds left to go, let me tell you the first thing that would concern me if I were Elida
is a fumble.
The snap. I mean, how many snaps have we seen that are just a little off target?
Low line drive kick. They're going to have good field position now.
Yes, they will. The up man, that would be Mike Niebel, catches that on a line drive. A whistle blows. A late hit is done.
Oh, now I don't.
And a scrum has broken loose.
Okay.
Whoa.
Let me describe what happened. Did you see that cleanly, Joel?
I got to look, but go ahead, Dan.
All right, you tell me what you saw, and I'll see.
Well, I saw a tackle got made, the up man. He was kind of laying down there, a couple other guys down there, and the whistle blew, and they spotted him down. And then very late, I don't know if Tanner Chastain didn't hear the whistle or thought he was laying on top of another player's body.
He was laying on top of another player's body. He wasn't actually down, but they blew the play dead because his forward progress was stopped. But then he thought, well, I'm laying on another player. I've never hit the ground. I'm going to get up and run. So then Monroe went in and hit him, and then they threw the penalty on Monroe.
Yes,
so
which was a late hit. The whistle did blow, and you're trained to stop at the whistle.
That is true.
So, okay, this changes things a little bit here.
It changes things a lot.
30 seconds left to go in the half, and Elida, after the short line drive kickoff and the 15-yard penalty, will have it at the Monroe 44-yard line. Very seldom have they had a snap on the other half of midfield.
Yes, we have a player that jumped on the first play, number 20 there for Elida.
And the flag was thrown all the way from the backfield.
Ooh.
12 men on the field for Monroe.
Okay. Well, 12 men on the field from Monroe. They're collapsing here a little bit, but Elida did jump, but I guess that nullifies the Elida player jumping early on the pass route.
All right, 1st down and 5 as the Chains are trying to make it 1st and 10 and are being told by the referees, no, it's 1st and 5.
Smart. He put the time
How
back
about
on
this?
the clock.
We had 1 second, excuse me, and timeout called by Monroe.
Yep.
They're trying to go ahead and regroup, no doubt, and that's a good timeout by Coach Mullins there. This thing is spiraling out of control very quickly on them.
Well, just think about this. There was 36 seconds to go, right?
Yep.
And
21-0.
Right. Now there's 30 seconds to go, and they got the ball all the way down at the 39-yard line. So they've essentially –
and they've done precious little to deserve it.
That's true.
I mean, Monroe has basically handed them the field position and said, here you go, Elida.
I just didn't agree with the call on Monroe there on that late hit.
Hey,
because
I heard the whistle, man. I heard the whistle.
I did too, but the players didn't seem to realize the whistle was blown on both sides of the ball. I mean,
30 seconds left, and how about the referee actually knowing that 1 second had bled off the clock and shouldn't have, and telling the clock keeper to put the second back on? You don't see that very often.
He's going
Larkin
deep.
Henderson looking. High
He's
ball
got it.
Thrown, complete. Carter Harsh. He's got a 1st down across the 30-yard line.
Referee or the team is saying clock the ball, ground the ball. We're going to see it here. Boom.
Only 2 seconds go off the clock during the spike. That is very efficient clock management there.
The whole play only took 9 seconds, Joel, from the completion to running up and spiking the ball. They got 2 plays off in 9
seconds.
I wonder if there's a little home cooking there by the clock operator.
Honestly, I think the clock operator handled that just perfectly.
That's
Elida
beautiful.
was that efficient.
That's
that efficient.
That's lightning fast.
I mean, that was a quick little play. He ran for a couple yards there, went down. Clock stopped as it should have been. They got right up to the line. 2nd down now. 21 seconds remain, and Elida has the ball at the Monroe 24-yard line. Here's the snap. Rush is not getting to Larkin. Now it finally did. Ball is thrown over the head of Gunnar Kuhn. He reached up and got a fingertip on the ball. That's all he could get. It's going to be 3rd and 10 now with 17 seconds left to go.
He got crushed again on that play. He's kind of limping. I'll tell you, he is taking his lumps today.
Looks like DeAndre Bothus-Reveley just scored a touchdown for Talawanda. They're up 28-7 over Belmont right now over in Oxford. Hamilton has scored a touchdown, got within 1 point of Moeller. The Crusaders leading Hamilton High 15-14 at Virgil Schwarm right now. 3rd and 10 for the Elida Bulldogs, trying to get something unlikely on the scoreboard before the half. Larkin Henderson rolls right.
He can run. He can run.
Throws it short.
And out of bounds.
Caught complete. Jaden Irons. Monroe's defense was playing very preventish there.
Almost too preventish, Joel.
They let him have about 15 yards and get out of bounds. 11 seconds left.
He got the first down, the all-important first down, too.
Elida has the whole playbook open to them in terms of they have 2 timeouts left with 11 seconds left. They've got to get 12 more yards. I don't know that a field goal does you a whole lot of good.
No, not down 3 scores.
So we'll see what happens here as Larkin Henderson tries to get the Bulldogs on the board into the checkerboard end zone on the left side of your screen. Roll out, going to the left, and throws it out of bounds with no receiver in the area, but I believe that's going to be safe.
You know my feeling about rolling across your body. Can't stand that play call there.
Well, one thing I've noticed with Monroe's defensive linemen
is
they are giving Larkin Henderson the pocket.
Yes,
and
they are.
He's not taking it. Henderson is trying to basically break contain as if it's a running play on virtually every one of these passes.
Yeah.
And not even really looking to wind the ball up and throw it, set his feet, whatever, until he breaks past his tackle.
Look at this, Joel. They think of 4 seconds to go in the half. Now, Elida's actually going to attempt the field goal, so they want to get some points.
They want to get some points for the half. I can't
28-yard field goal from the right hash.
And here's the kicker, Aiden Bartels. Bartels has the kick up.
And good.
And it is good. How long is that field goal down?
28 yards.
28-yard field goal. So we have reached halftime at Kraft Memorial Stadium. The visiting Monroe Hornets have a 21-3 lead over the Western Buckeye League's Elida Bulldogs. We'll be right back after this quick message.
Stay tuned also. Joel is going to discuss playoffs here at halftime.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Performance Toyota Superstore invites you to save. Money, that is. Overstocked pre-owned vehicles have forced us to wholesale direct to you. Our loss is your gain. Everything is on sale. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Every deal will be made. Keep your stimulus check and just show up and drive. If you want it, we've got it. Every style, every color, every model. It's used cars for everyone. Only at your Performance Toyota Superstore. Go to performancetoyotastore.com.
All right, we are back here at Roger Kraft Memorial Stadium, established 1961.
Wow.
Here in Elida,
classic.
Ohio. A classic.
That's right.
That's right, Dan. Monroe Hornets on a surprising, some might say, 21-3 lead over Elida.
Now, I don't know a whole lot about Elida's conference, Joel. You probably do, because that's your thing. But could it be possibly that Monroe's playing better competition than Elida, and that's what's, coming into play here?
It's possible, I suppose. A lot of these Western Buckeye League scores have been lower.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, Monroe is just simply beating them with the offensive line on their defensive line.
Yeah.
It's nothing fancy. It's
fullback
dives. It's,
And then they're busting long ones, too, on top of it. The band is rocking here, if you can hear them over. It's awesome.
Honestly, Dan, I'm almost kind of ashamed to admit it.
Yeah.
Monroe is basically playing this game as I would play on all Madden level or whatever, where I'm scared to make a mistake, scared to throw an interception, and just fullback dive, halfback dive, quarterback keeper, fullback dive, dive. All these plays, whether you get many yards on them or not, you are not likely to to do anything dumb with them. It's been huge.
Yeah. Well, I think probably the most critical play of the first half, being up 14-0 and just wanting to run out the clock and then popping a 56-yard run, whatever that was. I mean, 21 points.
There's no excuse for that if you're Elida's defense.
No.
I mean, they're trying to run the half out against you. They're trying to get out of here with the 14-0 halftime lead.
I mean, even the most unknowledgeable defensive player has to know they're going to be running the ball here.
I mean, you just got to tackle the dude. But Monroe's offense, give them credit. They're executing.
They are executing well.
They're absolutely executing well. All right. So you're hearing the Elida band playing Schools Out. Was that Alice Cooper?
That's old 1972 Alice Cooper. It's not out for summer. We're in the fall. They're a little confused, but that's okay.
And actually,
it feels like summer out tonight.
It kind of feels like, summer. And school has actually been in for Elida. They actually started 10 days earlier than everybody else around them did this year because they've got a new building opening up next year, the elementary building.
Okay.
And so they're trying to get the school year done earlier than most of the other schools districts are, and they're going in person. Most of the schools, according to Terry Myers, the PA guy, tells us that most of the schools around here, this area of Ohio, have been in person. Yes, social distancing and wearing masks, but they're going full speed at it.
And I think school is much more than learning off a computer. You need the social interaction with your classmates, with your professors, with your teachers. It's just a well-rounded, better education.
No doubt about it. You want to take a little lap around the playoff brackets here?
Absolutely.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start. We haven't done much Division I.
All right. Let's go to Division I, Region 4. Remember, there are two different regions involving Butler County because of what happened to Middletown. So here is the Region 1 bracket. Everybody playing tonight, no buys. Lakota West Firebirds are leading West Claremont right now by a score of 37-0 in the third quarter. They got a running clock already going. The Wolves are not going to be an issue at all.
We might have the battle of the Lakotas there in round 2. Well, unless Sycamore has something to say about that.
We'll see what happens there. I've not seen a Lakota East Sycamore score yet. I have seen a couple of Hamilton Moeller scores at the very bottom of this bracket. And again, I find it really interesting. Coach Mahan of Hamilton was on WMOH with us last weekend talking about how, he loved having the 6th seed. That's wonderful. It's a great honor. But he was not thrilled with his draw. If you look, he's got Moeller there tonight, and they got St. Xavier potentially next weekend if they can beat Moeller tonight. And Moeller's given them all they can handle early. But here's the thing. I have a problem.
What a surprise. You have a problem, Joel.
I have just a little bit of a problem with some of the way that a few of the GMC schools voted.
Okay.
So some of them went way out of their way to protect their other GMC schools because there's 9 GMC schools in this bracket of 16.
So are you saying, Joel, that you support the Harbin points?
Oh, there's no doubt I support the Harbin points.
Because one coach can really screw up a bracket. Dunbar, right?
There is no doubt that happens. But let me tell you something, all right? Not to be too harsh on Coach Mahan.
Yes.
Who was talking concerned about Moeller being a tough draw for his team.
Right.
Do you see Oak Hills at number 15 in this bracket?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Oak Hills is the only team in this entire bracket that has not won a game yet this year. Everybody else, including West Claremont, has at least one victory.
Well, why is Oak Hills not the 16th seed then?
Because enough GMC schools voted Oak Hills above a few other schools because they're GMC.
So Oak Hills should have been prey to Lakota West is what you're saying.
One would think.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. I'm looking at Coach Mahan's list right here. The OHSAA published every team's ballot here. And I'm seeing that Coach Mahan voted Oak Hills one spot above Moeller. Now, isn't that interesting? I wonder if
that'll give Moeller some incentive, won't it?
If I'm looking at this and just going to take it at face value, right? We're supposed to take these votes for what they're worth. This tells me that Hamilton's coach believes that Oak Hills is a tougher opponent than Moeller.
Can you ask when you're on WMOH? Well, you won't be on tonight.
I'll be calling in from here because I can't possibly get back on the 2-hour drive in time.
Right. So I would like you to ask him how he came up with that number. Do you think he'd have? Number one, would you have the nerve to ask him? And number two, do you think he'd answer it?
It's a legitimate question. But
ask him if he's stacking the GMC. No, that's the court. I'm getting confused. I'm getting. Well, are you
going to court? Yeah.
Yeah, stacking the court.
Biden
Yes.
and Kamala, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Don't want to answer that question, please. Don't make me answer that.
Don't answer that question.
No. So you got Moeller, rated below Oak Hills.
That makes no sense.
I kind of think that Hamilton would rather play Oak Hills than Moeller. That tells me that Moeller probably should have been ranked above.
Okay.
Oak Hills.
And what is that Moeller score again? 15?
15-14 late in the second quarter.
And Hamilton's leading?
In that game. Hamilton is trailing.
The
Moeller Crusaders. So there you go. Halftime in Coleraine. The Coleraine Cardinals are up 17-0 over Milford.
That's no surprise.
And we'll see what happens. Mason Sports Radio's Twitter is really interesting because they tweet out about every third play. So when they run a 3-yard gain up the middle, you hear about it. That doesn't necessarily tell you what's going on.
They keep their fans well informed, Joel.
They do. They really, really do. Oh, my goodness. So Coleraine, I would imagine Mason probably is doing well with Lebanon. Coleraine-Mason would probably be a pretty good second-round game.
All right.
I think Elder is the most underseeded team in this bracket.
Okay.
We'll see what they do with Fairfield. I've not seen a score. Here's a score. Elder still leads 21-18 with 4 seconds left to go in the half there against Fairfield. Fairfield putting up a good fight against the Elder Panthers at the pit. All three of those GCL South schools in the bottom of the bracket. So we'll see how Hamilton and Moeller ends up tangling up.
Joel, you're not going to believe this marvelous band. They are actually doing Script, Ohio out here.
Are they really?
Yes, they are.
I'm looking at these brackets. We don't have a camera here to be able to show you this.
Let me put my microphone out so you can hear the band play.
I'm almost wondering if this is Script Elida here. Almost looks like an E at the beginning of this thing. They can dot the I for Elida. They can do that.
It is Script Elida.
Script Elida. Here comes the
Here
comes the player to do it.
It's Script Elida.
Script Elida.
But they're playing the exact same song.
And does the salute to the Monroe fans. Beautiful with the beret. That's excellent. That's really cool.
That is fabulous.
All right. Division I, Region 2. Middletown is in that region. They are losing at halftime to Clayton Northmont 35-0.
Wow.
At least they didn't have to drive all that far.
Yes.
What can you say about that? Middletown did get their first win against Walnut Hills last week, so that's good for them. Division 2. All right. This is where the brackets start getting a little bit bigger. Chris Vogt is down covering Edgewood and Columbus West in that pinball machine that got started earlier tonight.
Yes.
West returning the opening kickoff. Edgewood breaking a 96-yard touchdown run on the very next play from scrimmage. And within 29 seconds, you had 2 touchdowns on the board. Edgewood was up 27-6 the last I saw in that game.
Anytime you have a seed in the 20s, you're just happy to be there.
Hello. Scoreboard update. It looks like Moeller has just scored twice. They've made it 29-14.
Wow.
Over Coach Mahan's Hamilton Big Blue, who still think Moeller is worse than Oak Hills. So
I think Moeller used that little chart there, Joel.
I don't want to break poor Coach Mahan's heart, but I think Moeller might be better than Oak Hills.
Yeah, I think they are.
Troy Trojans will play Edgewood next week. If both of them hold on to their very large lopsided leads, those two would advance, and Kumler Field would again host that game. That might be a very competitive game. Troy and Edgewood are two schools that haven't really seen much of each other, but both of them have some history in terms of some pedigree, strong teams. Talawanda, the 13 seed, leading Belmont by 3 scores going in toward the half.
Okay.
They're playing the Kings Knights if they beat Belmont tonight. Kings, we saw them earlier this year. Ty Stilsky is a heck of a running back.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
So Larry Cox will have his hands full if they can survive Belmont tonight. So far, so good for the brave young men from Oxford. Looking at the bottom of the half of this bracket, there's not any Butler County teams necessarily, but I would think that LaSalle might be a favorite potentially, and keep an eye on Piqua. Piqua's kind of the dark horse in this bracket because they don't really play a lot of the Cincinnati schools, but they've had a very, very good season. I believe they are undefeated at this point in time.
Sure.
Division 3. This is the bracket that we're in tonight as the Monroe Hornets have a 21-3 lead at halftime over the home Elida Bulldogs.
That might be the upset in all of high school football. I mean, do we know any other seeds that are as high as Monroe that are leading? I don't know.
This is pretty good for the Monroe Hornets. They got to be very, very happy, and they got to be hoping to build on this in the second half and not necessarily resting on their laurels. Bellbrook Eagles are the 1 seed there. New Richmond is the 4. They were both off tonight. Ross will get to host the winner of this game next week. I have to think if it's Monroe, they got to think at least the bus ride's going to be a lot shorter.
And watch out down there at the bottom. If Dunbar was leading Aiken earlier, I don't know what that score is.
It was 12-0 last I saw.
They get an angry Alter team.
Oh, yes. Dunbar, for those of you that don't know this, Dayton Dunbar decided to make a total and complete mockery of the voting. Not the GMC schools trying to make it somewhat reasonable and just stretching a little bit for the GMC. Dunbar voted Alter as the worst team in this entire region. Putting 26th ranked Ponitz Tech was 5th on their ballot. How about it? That tells you they did not take it seriously
His
at all.
brother coached at Ponitz Tech. Nah, who knows? Who knows?
Oh, my gosh. Well, Ponitz Tech was last place vote in almost every one of those
How many consecutive losses has Ponitz Tech had?
They won, I think, the last regular season game last year, which is why actually Baden got the home game against Ross in the playoffs. So they're
interesting.
They're bad, but they're not atrociously bad beyond all recognition.
Okay.
But yes, Dunbar goes ahead and votes Alter as the worst team in their bracket. That one coach's ballot, just like for the student that gets A on all their tests and then gets a 0 and then ends up with a B for the quarter, Alter ends up dropping from what would have been the 4 line to the 6 line.
If Alter plays Dunbar, and it looks like that might happen, when they come out and there's a banner and they bust through it, they should have karma on that banner. Would that be the best?
Just karma.
Karma, yes. Let everyone figure out what that means.
I expect Alter to try to put 80 points up in that game. They have every reason to just try to slaughter the Wolverines. Besides, they're called the Wolverines. I mean, that's even worse, right?
Sorry, Matt Vogt.
Sorry, Matt Vogt. I have still not seen, after the end of the first quarter, I saw a Shawnee Wapakoneta score. I have not seen. Okay, here it is. It looks like Shawnee and Wapakoneta are still scoreless at halftime.
Wow, that's a war.
They're getting ready to start the third quarter. That game was 9-7 3 weeks ago when they played each other. Winner of that game is going to get to take on the Baden Rams.
The cowbells are roaring here.
We need more cowbell.
Yes, we have lots of them right now. Let's go to, how about Division 7?
Division 7?
We've seen a lot of New Miami this year.
Yes, we've seen a lot of New Miami. They're not playing tonight.
No,
but they play Fayetteville Perry Rockets next weekend. They played each other actually last year in the regular season, and New Miami beat them 39-0.
Okay.
So that's good news for the Vikings. The Vikings haven't lost a whole lot of people.
That's right.
This is kind of their year. Cedarville, Mississinawa Valley, I've not seen a score on that, but I'm sure Marion Local plans on wiping the mat with whichever team they get to entertain next week. They're not going to be very courteous hosts up there in Maria Stein. And then Division 5 is actually a Saturday bracket.
Okay.
And Chris Vogt and I will actually be calling on television tomorrow night.
Great.
The Madison Mohawks, the 10 seed, as they play the 23rd seed Finneytown Wildcats.
Okay.
Madison kind of licking their wounds after getting drubbed by Monroe, but if they're listening to this broadcast, they might feel a little better about themselves. Monroe is coming around the corner.
Yes, they are.
So Madison, if they can beat Finneytown tomorrow night, will get to take a trip the following Saturday to play Springfield Shawnee as opposed to Lima Shawnee. Roger Bacon, of course, is the number 1 seed in that bracket, and they're good.
Corey Kiner. Yeah.
They are good. Corey Kiner. We'll see how far they can keep. I mean, Roger Bacon's got traditional powerhouses all over those byes. Blanchester, Brookville, West Liberty, Salem, Versailles, CHCA, but Roger Bacon may be better than all of them as you're hearing the cowbells start ringing here at Roger Kraft Memorial Stadium. So we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break, and we'll come back to start the third quarter here from Elida with the Monroe Hornets leading 21-3 on the road.
Performance Toyota Superstore invites you to save. Money, that is. Overstocked pre-owned vehicles have forced us to wholesale direct to you. Our loss is your gain. Everything is on sale. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Every deal will be made. Keep your stimulus check and just show up and drive. If you want it, we've got it. Every style, every color, every model. It's used cars for everyone. Only at your Performance Toyota Superstore. Go to performancetoyotastore.com.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game.
All right, and we are back as the clock on the scoreboard winds down to a minute left to go before they take the field and start the third quarter of play. Scoreboard update from Kumler Field, where Chris Vogt is right now. The Edgewood Cougars at halftime leading the West Cowboys 48-12. That's going to mean that Edgewood, if they hold on to that running clock in the second half, is going to be hosting Troy at Kumler Field next week. And that means Baden's going to need to find a place to play.
How about Daryl Joyce Park?
they may
where a lot of those
guys
played CYO football.
Fairfield will not be hosting a game, I wouldn't think.
Okay.
If they beat Elder, they're still the 10 seed, and unless Princeton loses to Oak Hills tonight, which is not likely.
Yes. So they might play at Fairfield.
If Fairfield opens up their field to them, I don't know if they will or not. I don't know. I mean, with COVID, it's, Edgewood has been very special to Baden this year in helping them to
very classy.
Take on the extra liability, so to speak.
And the facilities at Edgewood are tremendous, I'll tell you. They are.
Halftime score, Lakota East does lead Sycamore 21-10. That's a game that Lakota West fans will keep an eye on, because if Sycamore comes back and wins that game, Lakota West beat Sycamore 33-0 earlier this year.
Wow.
That's not a matchup they're going to be scared of. But
well, they won't. I don't think they would mind playing Lakota East, the classic rivalry.
The hard thing about the rivalry game is you can throw a lot of things out the window, and if you're the best team in the bracket, maybe that's the one team that you don't want to see, as your own rival.
That's right.
Get the emotions going. Second half kickoff is underway, takes a bounce at the 2-yard line, and matriculates back into the end zone.
Turn that wide.
And so it's going to be a first down for the Elida Bulldogs at the 20-yard line. 12 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Joel Sackenheim, Dr. Dan Vogt,
yes,
pleased to have you with us here, whether you're listening from Monroe and Butler County, or just a general sports fan, whether you're a Ross fan listening in to see who you're going to play next week, or whether you're an Elida fan up here in Allen County wanting to get a little bit of a feel for this home game for your previously 0-10 team that is now 4-2, that has had a much better season than people would have thought, but they're kind of taking it on the chin a little bit right now. Shotgun handoff up the middle from Henderson to Etzhorn, and Exhorn gets about 8 yards.
That was Alex pitch on the tackle there.
That was a direct handoff, really, from the shotgun. I don't think that was a quarterback read or any sort, I wouldn't think. And so, I mean, how nice is this press box, Dan? Elida gave us a light and everything.
Yeah, I know.
A reading light.
That's great.
Second down and a long one, and the handoff again goes to Etzhorn up the middle, and he's got it. First down, Elida, as the Bulldogs start to move the ball a little bit. You wonder if that 3 points right before halftime really just helped at least stop the bleeding, and maybe they can establish a little momentum here and tighten this game up.
Well, they're playing kind of fast, too. And, starting fast as early as what they're doing now, it might give them 2 extra possessions in the game. You got to think of stuff like that when you're down.
You're right. They really are playing, and it's hard for the defense to adjust also, as Henderson fakes the jet sweep and keeps it up the middle. Minimal gain there for the Bulldogs. What does a hurry-up offense, Dan, do to a defense?
It wears them out because they know what they're going to do, and the defense is just trying to catch up.
Can't really substitute much.
No.
Makes it challenging. It's an interesting strategy.
Already, look at that. You can see that the defensive line for Monroe is on their knees right now.
They're already on their knees.
They're winded, yeah.
There you go. Quick. All right, Larkin Henderson looks for a quick throw. High, complete to Carter Harsh. Harsh right there, out there by the sideline, catches it and is dragged out of bounds by number 42. That's Aiden Sargent. And that's going to be just short of the first down. It's going to be a 3rd down and 1. Actually, the referees are now
saying first down. They're saying first down.
They're talking to each other across the field. They're not completely sure what is going on right now. The referee, okay,
it's
now
a first down.
The referee in the center signals first down.
He finally said, I know it's a first down. Please move the chains, and he was right.
The one over by the sticks was already signaling move the chains, but the other referees hadn't made the signal for first down yet. That's not very nice to do to Terry Myers now, is it?
Not when you're down 21-3.
Here we go. Shotgun formation. And
High
again,
snap.
high snap.
Straight up the middle.
Popcorn.
He's got some room.
Bounces outside to the 35.
Whoa.
Finally tackled down by the safety. Way back there, Chandler Holler. He's not a safety, he's a lineman, but he was way back in the secondary.
Chandler has a motor. He ran all the way back, way down and got it. Look at that.
They're
all the way down to the 33-yard line.
Elida's trying to get some life into these old dog bones.
There
First
we go.
down and 10 from the Monroe 33. Handed up to Edscorn, spins out of the tackle, and then gets shoestring tackled by the pile. Ends up losing about 2 or 3 yards on the play.
What a generous spot he got.
He really did get a
He got knocked backwards and fell at the 35. They're spotting it all the way up at the 32. Interesting.
Loss of 0
They're
there.
going with a forward progress.
The line of scrimmage. The forward progress spot from the first initial spin-off.
Yes.
Because he did fall backwards about 3 yards. So, okay, maybe a generous spot or maybe an accurate spot, but certainly plays to Elida's advantage as Monroe has a 2nd and 10 to defend on this drive. Shotgun formation, a bad snap.
Fumbled,
bobbled,
snap.
And finally fallen upon by Larkin Henderson as Henderson gains control and is tackled by Tanner Chastain.
Okay, Joel, what do you do if you're the coach when Elida's offense is not on the field? You send those guys down in the corner of the end zone and you practice snapping the ball. There's something wrong here that you're seeing. I mean, I've never seen so many poor snaps. Look what they lost there. 7-8 yards there.
It reminds me a little bit. You ever see one of those trick shots in horse where you're trying to do something funny with the basketball in your hands, kind of spin it off your hand before you get possession and shoot it?
Yeah.
You know, those balls, okay, the snap goes to Henderson, who was walloped, and incomplete pass intended for Gunnar Kuhn. The snaps that are going back there, and it's about maybe a fourth of the time, are basically hitting him a little too far to the wide right. He's getting a hand on it and under the ball, and the ball's kind of spinning sideways in his hand as he's trying to gain control of it, and his receivers are already going down the field. It's really been disruptive to a lot of what Elida has tried to do offensively tonight.
Okay, well, they're at the 39. It's 4th and 18. They're setting up for the punt. What do you think of that call? 4th and 18's hard to get.
18's very hard to get.
You must trust your punter here to do his job and get it either out of bounds or inside the 20 and not booming out the end zone. Let's see
Here's the kick.
Let's see. He's coughing, cornering it.
It hits inside the 20. Rolls down and continues to roll.
Interesting.
Look out. Looks like pitcher actually tried to dive on top of that ball at the 10-yard line. Elida actually dove on top of it first.
Right.
Before the ball would have technically been muffed, so it's a downed punt at the 10.
Nice punt then.
Very nervous moment there for Monroe. That
Yes.
could have very easily been a turnover had pitcher touched that ball or pitch.
Almost a Leon Lett type play.
It almost was a bit of a Leon Lett.
Stay away
type
from it, Leon.
Leon Lett. First down and 10 at their own 10-yard line from Monroe. 90-yard field to go. They're not worried about the end zone so much as keeping the ball, getting the time off the clock. Here is a Deaton tuck up the middle. Fakes the handoff to the fullback and follows him as a lead block. That's one of the other cool things about the triple option is it almost works as your fullback. If you don't hand it to him, works as your lead blocker.
Yes, that's correct. And he's on the move, too, so he's got the momentum going.
Have him get a chance to
a running
chip
start
at the linebacker a little bit there and give your quarterback a little bit of daylight there to run to. 2nd down and 6 now for the Monroe Hornets.
Now, if Elida really wants to impose their will, they should do it on this series because they could get good field position if they can just hold them to a 3-and-out. There we go.
All right, hand
that
off.
worked there.
And about a 1-yard gain for the Hornets, and so it's going to be a 3rd down and 5.
Big play coming up for the Bulldog defense and the Hornets, really, because they're going to be snapping the ball and trying to punt near their goal line if they cannot get this first down. 3rd and 6. Do you think we see a pass coming up here? They're definitely still in the running formation, Joel.
I think absolutely not. I don't know that you'll see Monroe throw the ball the rest of the game.
Wow.
I mean, as long as they keep leading by the multiple scores that they are up by.
Here we
Their
go.
defense has played very well.
Blitz.
Handoff. Jackson doesn't get much.
The corner there just totally said they're not going to throw it, and he ran between the right guard in the center, blew the play up. It's just a risky play, but very effective here because they knew, just like you said, why throw it there?
Not often you see a corner blitz through the A-gap.
No. Well, in high school you see it.
It doesn't happen all that often.
Look at the respect he's given this punter. He's 2 yards in his end zone.
McPherson.
He's way back at the 4.
Across midfield.
Nice punt.
Received at the 45 and back across midfield.
He's got some room.
He's got some blockers. He's out toward the 20-yard line.
Wow.
And he's inside the red zone for Elida. Great field position for the Bulldogs.
Could we say it was an out-kicking your coverage there? I hate to use that phrase, but
yeah.
I think he did do it.
Kind of like you and Tammy, right? Out-kicking your coverage there, Dan?
Thank you, Joel.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Tammy appreciates that.
That's it. The pride of Franklin Heights. Yes.
That's right. You'll never forget that now.
Number 24 in the coach's vote, but always number 1 in our hearts.
That's right. Go Falcons.
First down and 10 for the Elida Bulldogs.
They have
at the
three
Monroe
wide receivers
line.
out. Oh, straight up the middle.
Handoff to Andrew Etzkorn, the senior running back, who goes ahead and gets about 4 yards. It's going to set the Elida Bulldogs up with a 2nd and 6 at the 15-yard line going in.
Wyatt McPherson on the tackle from Monroe. I'll tell you, 6 yards here. This is a huge series. Elida has to get a touchdown here.
Yeah, they need points. I mean, this game is definitely not over. Not at all.
A fumbled snap.
Another bad snap, and that'll cost them about 6 or 7 yards of field position there. As
is Monroe putting Vaseline on the beanbag, and then it's getting transferred to the football, and he can't? It's a theory. I'm just kidding. People. I've never seen so many butterfingers on the snaps.
I gotta say, Larkin Henderson.
Yeah.
Got up again from the bottom of that pile as he recovered his own fumble. And 3 Monroe Hornets all basically put a hand on his shoulder or tapped him softly on the head and say, I get it, man. I get it. Larkin Henderson tries to throw it across his body. It's caught. Kuhn toward the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs, 22 yards.
There you go. Now
Kuhn.
Now they're playing as to where their seed is. That was a nice drive.
There we go. All of a sudden, we got
a little bit more
of a game. A little bit more of a game. 22-yard touchdown pass.
Joel, did you say Elida has a great kicker? I think you did say that.
Both the kicking games are pretty good.
I agree. As far as, oh, yeah.
Kick is up.
And good.
Kick is good, no doubt. 5:27 left to go in the third quarter. The Monroe Hornets, 21. The Elida Bulldogs, 10.
Performance Toyota Superstore invites you to save. Money, that is. Overstocked pre-owned vehicles have forced us to wholesale direct to you. Our loss is your gain. Everything is on sale. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Every deal will be made. Keep your stimulus check and just show up and drive. If you want it, we've got it. Every style, every color, every model. It's used cars for everyone. Only at your Performance Toyota Superstore. Go to performancetoyotastore.com.
We're back here. Dan's trying to sing the Performance Toyota song.
It's addictive.
Never pay more when you shop route for Performance Toyota.
You're going to have to bring your guitar and do an acoustic version of that.
The Eric Clapton version,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Dan was admiring during the break the water bottle display of Elida's sideline. Looks like it's a handmade card. It's really cool looking. And our clock keeper's actually nodding his head here. It's
first class.
It's got everybody's individual water bottle on it.
Well, that's probably a COVID thing. Yeah, it's a COVID thing. I gotcha.
Oh, my goodness. Looks like Coleraine has just taken a 24-0 lead over.
Something tells me one of those big old slobbermouth linemen will just grab the first bottle he can get, though.
Kickoff is retrieved at the 7-yard line by Monroe's pitch. I'm always getting his name wrong. Alex Pitch. There's no at the end. I've been watching too much baseball, Dan. Pitch.
Yeah, that's all right. The pitchers.
That's right.
The cowbells are rocking again. They have some vivacious fans here.
They really do. They've been wanting to cheer all night long. There's not been a whole lot, but they're starting now just so slightly. They're starting to pick up a little steam.
Let's see if Monroe can answer here.
Monroe, it's interesting because you've played conservatively all game long, and that's what gave you lead in the first place, is playing conservatively.
Oh, they're all crowded and tight,
it's
Joel.
a very bunch formation here. Double tight end, 2 H-backs, and a fullback about 1 step behind the quarterback. Ish in motion. Handoff to Jackson. Eaten up by the defensive line.
Nothing.
I mean, this is even more conservative than Monroe was in the first half.
Yeah, he still got 2 yards surprisingly, but it didn't look that good.
You know, I kind of think, and I'm not criticizing Bob Mullins here, it may be his best bet. I kind of think Monroe is going to say, I just want to try to sit on this 11-point lead the rest of the game.
And I'll tell you, I think that's a little bit too early.
It's a dicey game to play.
It's very dicey.
But Monroe's offense, when they've scored, it's not been off of
there is
stuff.
not even one guy out wide. Okay,
not at all. Again,
tackle to tackle
formation. Handoff, Jackson.
He's got some
the
room.
Middle.
There you
First
go.
down. As long as you can keep doing that, you're going to be okay.
If they don't run straight up the middle and they kind of go outside the tackles, it seems like that's where they're getting their most effective runs tonight, Joel, including that long touchdown before the end of the half.
Right. Well, it's interesting because that touchdown started between the tackles and then immediately bounced outside.
That's right. That's right.
Ran to daylight a little bit, and the deeper they go ahead and the tighter they condense their offensive formation, the tighter Elida's defense will also be.
Yeah. Look at Elida right now. They got 9 in the box, as they say.
As they say, handoff goes again to Jackson. Very similar drive to the first drive of the first quarter.
And a nice, effective run.
4, 5, 6 yards. I mean,
Yep.
just keep the chains moving. We're down below 4 minutes now left to go in the third quarter of play. And Monroe would love to score on this drive. They'd love to flip field position, if nothing else, in this drive. They'd love to zap the rest of the quarter off this drive. These are all goals of the Hornets.
I'll tell you, I don't want to be I'll just say this. If Monroe can get a touchdown on this drive, it's a ball game.
It's pretty good, huh?
Yep.
Talawanda's just opened a 42-7 lead over the Belmont Bison.
Wow.
Ugly.
Yes.
Handoff, Jackson up the middle. Another block going downfield there that, got whistled late and no flag, and we're okay. And about 2 yards on the carry for the Hornets from Jackson.
About 3rd and 3, Joel.
DIII actually had the pitch man to Ish Moss there,
Okay.
and it was actually open.
Wow.
But they've not really looked for that option, that part of the triple option, all night long.
We know Ish has the speed.
Does.
It'd be interesting to get that young man on the outside.
I wonder if they're saving that for at some point in time later on. 3rd and 3, the cowbells ring here at Elida. Again, the handoff goes to the fullback Jackson. Again, Ish was open on the pitch there. Had DIII decided to keep it. 2 yards of the 3 required there. The Hornets are across midfield, and it is 4th and 1. You go for this, Dan?
I go for it, but it looks like they're going to punt.
Some indecision coming from that sideline.
No, they are going for it, Joel.
There you go. I like it.
I like it too.
Give your team a chance here. An even more powerful formation is you have 2 fullbacks and a tailback. And double tight end.
Wow, this is man.
It's almost like victory formation.
Oh, he fumbled the snap. There's a flag.
And a flag. The flag actually may save Monroe here.
Yes.
If it's a false start. Let's see what happens. Dead ball.
Yes, you got
start.
it, Joel.
So it's not even a fumble. But this will now set up a punting formation. Elida's like, that's the play you had to jump on, right? You haven't jumped all night long. That's the one you have to jump on, the one he fumbles the exchange. Monroe's we'll take it. 4th and 6. I didn't see it out in what?
Coach is over there saying, good false start there, young man.
Good false start. I don't know anything about a quarterback center exchange. Elida, what?
2 men back there for Elida for this
person
punt.
to punt it. We'll see if he outkicks his coverage this time. Line drive kick. Booms into the 15. Bounces.
Ooh.
Down to the 5. Hits the man. Picked up by Kuhn. Kuhn's going to run it but not have nearly as much yardage. And there's going to be a flag on top of this. This field position for Elida is going to be some of the most putrid, horrific field position you're ever going to see on a drive.
You saw that punt, Joel. It was going end over end. That ball would have rolled way outside the end zone. Why don't you let that go there, Joel?
It would have.
It would have.
I mean, absolutely right.
They would have the ball at the 20, and now they're going to be half the distance to the goal here with this penalty.
All right, we got a block in the back was called, so it's half the distance to the goal. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left to go. Here's a score. You're talking about
5-yard line.
Potential upsets. Fairfield has just taken the lead at the pit over Elder.
Wow.
25-21 in the third quarter. So that game is really interesting as that's getting heated up in the second half of that at the pit. Sure, the energy there is not quite the same as it would normally be for a playoff game at the pit, to be fair.
I bet even with limited fans at the pit, it's more energy than a lot of places.
I'll bet so. I think you're probably right. Handoff up the middle. Not a lot of room to work with here for Andrew Etzkorn, the running back. No gain, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 for Elida at their own 5-yard line. Great thing about that long punt, the misplay, as you say, Dan, on the return, and the block in the back on top of it is now that really limits the playbook that Elida can run, and it puts a lot more pressure on the center.
Yeah,
you cannot afford a bad snap in this situation.
Absolutely correct.
You're going to be giving up 2 points if you do. Here comes the snap. A
Good
perfect snap. Larkin, Henderson throws it just a tad high, but catchable for Gunnar Kuhn.
That was my play, the slant.
The slant pattern.
Threw it a little bit high.
Little high. Kuhn leapt up and it went between his arms. He did have some room, didn't he?
He had some room. threw it a little fast, a little high.
1 minute, 29 seconds remain in the third quarter. Monroe up 21-10. Joel Sackenheim, Dr. Dan Vogt, pleased to have you with us here from Elida's Roger Kraft Memorial Stadium.
And if there's any high school teams like the Baden Rams that want to have a high school stadium, come here and look at this field. Almost
an interception there by
goodness.
3 different Monroe Hornets as Larkin Henderson rolled out toward the left, almost crossed the line of scrimmage before he threw it, fluttered the ball. It went through the arms of
Jack Taylor, Ryan Miltenberger, and I missed the third one.
Blake Keaton was the third.
Blake was the third, yeah.
3 Hornets had a shot at that flutter ball. None of them came up with it, and Elida will be punting it with the punter's heel back toward his own back of the end zone.
Now, I like Monroe's position here. They're at the 39-yard line, so they're expecting a quick snap and a short punt, and I agree with them, even though they have a great kicking game.
Yeah, I mean,
kick it over my head, he's saying.
We'll see if Monroe decides to go ahead and try to rush this.
They're
not really that seriously. There's the fluttery punt. Hits at the 27-yard line, takes an Elida roll, and runs out past the 35-yard line.
That's a stressful kick. That's what that is.
Very stressful kick.
Yes.
It's being a redhead, pain tolerance in a dental chair is what that is, right, Dan?
Yes. Well, we're both redheads. I just have less red hair than Joel. But we're both redheads.
He had the mullet at one point in time, that's for sure.
Those were good days.
That's right. So check out your local MonroeSchools.com. MonroeLocalSchools.com for information on all Monroe sports teams. Your place to find up-to-date team schedules, stories about recent and upcoming events, information on Monroe athletic boosters. Follow the Hornets on Twitter with in-game updates. More information at Hornets in-game. Additionally, like Monroe High School on Facebook. Follow our page for more information on Hornet teams of the past and present. Elida is taking a timeout. We'll take it with them. Minute 14 left to go in the third quarter. It is the Hornets 21 and with field position. Elida Bulldogs 10.
Yeah, Elida was ready on defense, but they had 10 men on the field, Joel, so they quickly called a timeout.
That'd be a problem.
Yeah.
Let's go to commercial.
Okay.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
Handoff up the middle goes to Jackson as we're back here. First play of this Monroe drive. They're only going to run a couple probably. And that pickup is going to be for about 3 or 4 yards. Again, steady, easy as she goes, not a problem. And keeping control of this game. Monroe's just got to keep themselves cool.
You're exactly right. No turnovers, no penalties. Just keep the clock rolling, run the ball 3 or 4 times.
Honestly, the 3 points that Monroe gave Elida before the halftime was gift wrapped by penalty.
Yeah.
A-gap blitz.
That's right.
DIII goes down big time by Mike Niebel. Niebel is the one that basically, for those of you that are Tecmo Super Bowl people, he did the illegal move of rushing the A-gap. I mean, he was right there at the snap and he ate up DIII, nowhere to go.
How's that sound when they do that tackle?
3rd and 6 when we come back from the end of the third quarter. But they're going to let this clock drain all the way down, and I see no reason why they should do anything otherwise. We head to the 4th at Kraft Memorial Stadium. It's the Monroe Hornets 21, the Elida Bulldogs 10 on the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Monroe Athletic Department would like to recognize Jackson Baker for shooting an 83 this past week at the OHSAA sectional tournament. He is moving on to districts, will compete this Thursday at Beaver Creek Golf Club. Good luck to Jackson. And the Monroe Athletic Department would like to recognize the Monroe Athletic Booster Club for their continued support of Monroe High School student athletes. Go Hornets, they say in the advertisement. And obviously Monroe Schools is kind of our sponsor tonight because they actually put out the fee. There is a fee for every television and radio broadcast of a playoff game that is owed directly to the OHSAA. So we thank them for putting that up so we could be here tonight. Handoff on the outside. Little Jeff Sweep action to Ish. They've not run that very often.
No, and it's been there all night, as you've said time and time again. We have no, that's a beanbag.
It's a beanbag and not a flag.
Oh, change that color.
Oh, my goodness. First down and 10 for the Hornets. They are now at the Elida 17-yard line trying to put their foot on this game and get a stranglehold on advancing the next week. They can taste it.
That's right.
One wide receiver way outside of the formation here. And a flag as there was an Elida defender that jumped and flinched. But he didn't jump inside the neutral zone, and that's the key. He did not jump inside the neutral zone. Monroe flinched in response. It is a false start called. 1st and 15 now for the Hornets, and the clock is stopped at 11:54 left to go. I happen to see, Dan, that Monroe scheduled Talawanda for next week.
Okay.
For assuming they both lost tonight's games.
Wow.
Neither one of those teams are losing right now.
It's good to be modest, isn't it?
Maybe they might get off of Twitter and send a snail mail letter to each other and say, sorry, Dear John letter, I won't be able to meet up with you next week for our date. Handoff goes to the fullback, Elijah Jackson, who is stuffed in the backfield for a loss of 1.
Elida says enough of this. Come on. we gotta stop him here.
All right, it's going to be a 2nd down and
16.
17?
Yes.
Man. Monroe is in field goal range, though. They've got a good kicker. And that would be a huge kick if they could do it. It'd be right now about 41 yards from here.
Okay.
Ish goes in motion. They crack back going the other way to pitch.
Nice tackle.
Pitch is tackled. I'm trying to see the number here through this plane of glass. That's Kuhn, Gunnar Kuhn, the one who scored the touchdown earlier on offense for the Elida Bulldogs.
If Gunnar Kuhn does not make that tackle, that might be a touchdown for Monroe.
I might say that Gunnar Kuhn has probably been the best player on the field tonight for the Bulldogs. He has been all over the place and has contributed in many and varied ways to Elida's attack.
He's their man.
3rd down, 15 to go. Monroe still doesn't want to do anything foolish.
And they want that clock to keep running.
That's right.
It's down to 5 seconds on the play clock.
I don't know if they're ready or organized.
3, 2, 1.
Timeout.
And they call a timeout just before the delay of game.
Yep, they see it's coming as well. So we'll be right back after this break from Kraft Stadium.
Performance Toyota Superstore invites you to save. Money that is. Overstocked pre-owned vehicles have forced us to wholesale direct to you. Our loss is your gain. Everything is on sale. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Every deal will be made. Keep your stimulus check and just show up and drive. If you want it, we've got it. Every style, every color, every model. It's used cars for everyone. Only at your Performance Toyota Superstore. Go to performancetoyotastore.com.
All right, we're back for a third down, and again, a weird situation for Monroe. Doesn't want to do anything foolish here. Does want to keep the clock running, as Dan says. Does want to set themselves up for a potential field goal to try to put them up by 14. I would think that Jackson Janish has the leg to be able to do this, the way that Dick Ballard was talking about their kicking game before the game when I got to chat with him on the sideline. Pitch in motion. Dean's going to throw it. Screen.
Nice call.
Hits it to Jackson, who stumbles a little bit and then is bent over and crushed by Nick Niebel.
I'll tell you, they had Chandler Holler was out there leading the way, and the defender got by him, and he was smart enough not to push him in the back there. Because if he would have done that, that would have been a penalty at the spot, as you've said all year, and it would have pushed him out of field goal range.
That's right.
So here we go. They're lining up. It's going to be a 40-yard attempt, Joel, and they're
maybe 41.
Yeah.
Yeah, was they putting it at the 31-yard line?
41.
41-yard attempt.
Towards the left hash, more.
Jackson Janish.
Let's see what he can do.
Not called a false start. That ball is up, and he absolutely crushed it, but it went wide.
Wow. From our view, it looked beautiful.
It did look beautiful, but it went wide. Elida wanted a false start on that play, and now that they saw it go wide, they're very happy there wasn't a false start called on that play. 9:40 left to go.
He had the leg, absolutely.
He did have the leg. Scoreboard updates involving the Western Buckeye League teams. So we look at the Division III bracket. We have St. Mary's Memorial, the 8th seed, just took a 56-6 lead over the 25 Greenville Green Waves. And we have a score finally for Wapakoneta Lima Shawnee. Baden fans, you'll be interested to hear that Wapakoneta is now up 13-0.
Wow.
Over Shawnee.
And they are the 18th seed, and Shawnee is the 15th.
That's right.
Long completion.
That is into the hands of who else? Gunnar Kuhn.
That's a good football name.
Gunnar Kuhn. That's right.
Kuhn.
All right, so it's going to be a first down and 10. So, yes, if Wapakoneta ends up winning that game, Dirk Allen will get to call the Redskins against the Rams next week.
Will he call them football team?
I don't think he'll call them the Wapakoneta football team.
He'll call them the Redskins. Good for him.
We'll see.
Dirk's old school.
Dirk is old school.
Oh, my goodness.
Pass.
Alex pitch. It pitched off his fingers there, Joel. I mean he was looking at his hands after he dropped it like, what did I just do?
Technically, Noah Bowman is the intended receiver for that play, only because technically the intended receiver has to be from your own team. But pitch was actually the one that ball was thrown to. It hit him perfectly, and he had an interception, and he dropped it. So it's going to be second down and 10 for Elida with 9:11 left. Monroe trying to hold on to an 11-point lead after having a very good first half. Ball's on the 41-yard line, their own 41-yard line. Larkin Henderson.
Boom!
Gets hit.
That's incomplete.
Incomplete pass.
That's
correctly calls. The Monroe fans want to see a fumble called there, but that arm was definitely going forward as Henderson got once again walloped there.
He got hit so hard the ball kind of fluttered out towards the right sidelines. A few Monroe Hornets jumped on it, thinking we got a fumble, but you are correct, Joel. His arm was going forward.
He's again trying to escape the pocket.
Yes.
And he couldn't get outside of the defensive end. The defensive end is basically rushing in a diagonal fashion to keep him contained. He knows what he wants him to do.
And he's not running out of the pocket because of pressure. He's doing it as a designed play, which I don't necessarily agree with.
Yeah, I almost wonder if Monroe did that.
Here he's doing it again.
They're rushing him diagonally. Throw up the middle. He is
nice
complete.
Play.
Right across midfield.
That was a 3rd and 10, Joel, and
That's
they got 12. Yeah,
yep.
that was a big play for him.
Big play for Elida. They're still in this game.
Absolutely they are.
8:58 left to go. Clock pauses and now winds. As the Elida Bulldogs now are across midfield, they are at the Monroe 48-yard line. Shotgun formation. 1 tight end, 4 wide receivers. One of them lined up kind of as an H-back. I imagine he'll be in motion, and there he is.
Fake handoff to him.
Larkin
Quarterback
Henderson
straight up the middle.
Breaks that one for about 9 yards.
And Monroe's happy it's 9 and not 10 because it keeps that clock moving. It's down to 8:27 now, Joel.
That's exactly right. Elida looks very comfortable running a no-huddle offense, and they're going to move the ball up and be right back ready on the line of scrimmage, ready to go as the skill position players are looking over at the Elida sideline, waiting for a hand signal for whatever offensive play is going to be called. We're down to 20 seconds on the play clock.
They're going a little slow, I think.
They are. It's a no-huddle, but it's a slow no-huddle. Fake handoff. Henderson gets the pass to Bowman, coming across the middle, toward the left sideline, inside the 10, lunging toward the pylon, gets out of bounds. Okay, gets tackled inbounds, I should say. It is going to be a 1st and goal, just short of the end zone, about the 2 or 3 yard line.
There's a crossing pattern over the middle. He caught the ball in the middle of the field, ran towards the left sidelines, had a lot of room, and now they can run the ball without a problem if they want to.
One against the grounds. There's no running back. Now a man goes in motion. Henderson takes a hard snap, tucks it up the middle.
He stops
gets about a yard at most. They're about the 2 yard line now. 7:30 on the clock. Tick, 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 tick.
You just don't realize how big it was stopping him there. That adds another minute off the clock in the long run.
And Monroe offensively has not done a whole lot in the second half.
They've been even more conservative, you said, than in the first half.
Even more than in the first. You know, don't do anything stupid. Don't fumble it, and let's just hope we can hold on for dear life here. You had a 21-point lead. Much of it is going. Henderson throws it to the flat. It's intercepted!
There he goes. He could go. Oh, he's tackled. Oh, my goodness. I was doing my
there, Dan.
little Chris Berman there. Pardon me.
It was a pattern out to the flat. Pitch read it. He jumped the route, intercepted it around the 2 or 3 yard line, had golden goalposts but did not have the speed to get past the quarterback, Larkin Henderson. Henderson was the only one that could have made a play on that. Pitch runs for about 40, almost 50 yards on that play, and Henderson wraps him up at Monroe's own 49-yard line.
All right, Joel, it's easy to second guess the call there when you're throwing a pick, but I don't agree with it there. You just run it in.
Well, they tried to run it in on the play before, and they didn't get anything.
Yeah, but it was from the 3 yard line, and they were at the 1 that time.
Yeah, hard to say, but Pitch has dropped a couple potential interceptions today. He didn't drop that one.
He looked like he could have scored, like you said. Only the speed of the quarterback stopped him.
And if he could have gotten past Larkin Henderson, he would have been able to run the other 50. I have no
I
doubts.
formation, I love it.
Handoff goes to Jackson. Handoff almost went to the Elida defensive tackle.
Yeah, Marquez Townsend was in there so fast, he almost got the handoff, Joel.
Wow, on a fullback dive.
Yes. Talk about splitting the line.
That's not easy to do.
No.
No gain on the play. Monroe keeps the ball 2nd and 10 at their own 49. They're perfectly happy with that. I mean, this is one of those things. That interception toward the goal line might be the game-defining play when this is all said and done. It may have changed the entire outcome because Elida was gaining a lot of traction into this game. The handoff goes to Jackson again for the fullback. He gets forward progress for about 3 yards across midfield.
Okay, Monroe there snapped the ball with 12 seconds to go on the play clock. Yeah, I was watching that.
Ooh.
I mean, you got to run that all the way down.
You really do.
This is 3rd down now. 3rd and 7 for Monroe. I expect a run for sure.
I do too.
We're down to 5:57. They're up by 11 here, 21-10.
Your Hamilton update you asked for. Moeller still leads 29-21 over Big Blue.
Interesting game.
That is a very interesting game at the Schwarm tonight.
Here we go.
Moss takes the sweep, tries to cut it up, and is met and tackled, wrapped up by Marquez Townsend before he gets the requisite yards for the 1st down. I am sure Monroe is going to punt the ball here, even though it's 4th and 3. Field position, right, Dan?
In this case, absolutely. And here comes the punt team.
Yeah,
you have to, because their punter has shown the ability to punt, knock it inside the 20, whether it be with a short kick, with a little line drive kick, with a little coffin corner deal. He's had some skills, I'll tell you.
Back him up, Hornets, right?
Right, and let's all right. The play clock now is nicely down to 3 seconds. 2 bad snap.
Horrible snap. Bounces up. McPherson throws it.
Incomplete.
Incomplete pass intended for Ryan Miltenberger. That was not intended to be a fake punt. That was a horrible snap that rolled to him, bounced up off his hands, and he finally picked it up and couldn't do anything.
Amazingly, no illegal man downfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the press announcer's yelling that too. Wait, they're talking it over.
This might end up being an illegal man downfield.
They're not calling illegal man downfield.
Illegal man downfield is not a loss of down penalty anyway, though I do not believe, and so they would decline it anyway had it been called,
but
I would think.
It's not a yardage penalty, Joel.
It's 5-yard penalty, but they're not going to make Monroe repunt it.
That's true.
They're going to decline the penalty and take the ball at the 43-yard line as an incomplete pass.
And there's no flag anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We talked about Mason and Colerain potentially playing each other next week. I hadn't seen a Mason score yet. Mason leading Lebanon 34-2.
Oh, wow.
Lebanon has that save. It's funny, the 2 points almost looks worse than a shutout sometimes when you see it on the board, doesn't it?
It does.
It's not, but it almost looks that way.
All right. Elida's definitely going to be on their hurry-up horse.
Henderson over the middle. Bounced off of the hand of Blake Keaton and bounced a mile into the air.
I'll tell you, he's frantic. I mean, he wants to score, but, boy, there's been a lot of potential interceptions here for Monroe tonight.
Big time.
Big time.
Big time. And that ball, again, hit the hands of the Monroe player. High for him, Blake Keaton. And Jack Taylor actually almost had a shot at it as well. Had Keaton not touched it and tipped it a mile out in the air, Taylor had a beat on it. He's going up to his buddy saying, man, I wish you wouldn't have tipped that, but he can't know that. 4:46 left to go, 2nd and 10. Larkin Henderson with 5 wide receivers. Ball batted at the line of scrimmage by Tanner Chastain. Good rush coming off of the right side of the offensive line.
What can you say? Props to Monroe Hornets defense tonight.
Monroe's D has played very well.
I mean, they've given up one drive on a punt return, which gave them a short field.
Right.
It's a drive under 30 yards.
Yep.
And that's been it.
And then the field goal was basically given by the penalties.
Yes.
Right before that.
So for them to give up a drive here, they're at the 41. So for them to give up a 59-yard drive here is highly unlikely the way that the game's going.
Well, and here's where as the pass is thrown to the swing pass incomplete, it's going to be 4th and 10 after 3 straight incomplete passes from Larkin Henderson. Here's where that previous drive, being intercepted at the end zone instead of being able to punch it in, makes all the difference in the world.
Sure.
We'd be looking at 21-17 right now. We'd be looking at Elida maybe being able to punt on 4th and 10, which they're going to have to go for it now on their own 43-yard line, down by 2 scores.
Right.
We'd be looking at Elida being able to run whatever plays they want to out of their playbook instead of having to throw it all over the field now. And I want to give Coach Mullins, Coach Butts, Coach Ballard, and all the rest of the Monroe coaching staff all the credit in the world for film study. It looks like they've had Elida scouted out really well in this game.
Look at that. Look at that. They got a sack.
Face mask penalty.
I'll tell you what they're going to call. You're right.
Yep.
That is the only thing that saved Elida on this play. The quarterback was under duress. 3 different Monroe Hornets had their hands on him, but the second gentleman spun him around from the face mask.
Personal foul defense. It was called a grasping of the helmet rather than a face mask, but it was the same idea. It was Connor Loper who had the cleanest rush at him. He whiffed a little bit, almost wrapped him up, but ended up getting his hand, I think, inside the helmet itself, trying to make the tackle.
Under the back of the helmet, Joel, where it says "shoot" or whatever the name of the helmet is.
Right.
There's different brands.
Or in the NFL, it'd be what, end racism or Black Lives Matter or whatever else they're putting on their helmets these days. I saw one guy said Texans. I'm like, I don't know what racial justice that one is for, but Texans, that's interesting.
There you go.
It's only a 5-yard penalty now. So
that's
not
right.
15-yard personal foul. So it's 4th and 5 now for Elida at their own 48, since it was grasping the back of the helmet, I guess, and not a face mask.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why that wasn't a 15-yard penalty.
We got a holding.
This is going to be a hold. A first down.
A first down pass.
But it's not going to stand.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of people in the Elida press box wondering how a personal foul is only 5 yards, and I'm wondering the same thing. So we're going to go ahead back 10 yards and take it back to 4th and 15 as we can't get off this 4th down. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking this officiating crew kind of got that one wrong too, Dan. I mean,
and that's a crucial play to get wrong now, because now we're at 4th down and, what, 33? My goodness.
All right.
You know any 4th and 33 plays, Joel?
Pray.
All right.
4 wide receivers, extra tight end into block.
Blitzen. Oh, he got
Henderson
hammered up the middle.
Big hit there once again by Connor Loper. And after that comedy of errors, it's going to be a first down for Monroe with 4:12 left to go. And the Hornets are going to try to salt this thing away.
All right, so let's say Monroe runs the ball 3 times here. That's going to milk maybe 2 minutes. So
Elida's got 2 timeouts. They can choose to use them now or later.
I would use them immediately, but, you know, it's
like which flavor of ice cream you want. You want now, you want later, I don't care.
It was a catastrophic bad call by the official, if it actually was.
If it was what we think it was, a personal foul.
Yes.
The fact that they only gave him 5 yards instead of 15 is a little surprising, unless it really isn't under the personal foul section of the rule book there. Handoff to Jackson, the fullback dive up the middle.
Wow, what effort.
And that is one of those type of runs that kind of rips out the heart of a defeated team there, Dan. Elida's still been playing with good energy until that play.
I agree, and he had 2 spin moves on top of it, so he was running with heart.
2nd and 1. That's a 9-yard gain, and if you ever played Madden and tried to run a clock out, a 9-yard run on first down is exactly what you like, even better than a 10-yard run.
That's right.
Give you 2 plays, maybe 3 plays to get you 1 yard and keep that clock moving. We're below 4 minutes left to go. Over at the Shore, Moeller has scored again. They're up 36-21.
But they're not as good as Oak Hills.
They're not as good as Oak Hills.
That's right.
Just ask Hamilton's coach. All right, here we go. Handoff to Jackson. Up the middle, he doesn't need much. He doesn't get a whole lot. He gets about 2 or 3 yards.
And that is the first down. I wonder if Jackson's had any fumbles this year. I mean, they are really, really entrusting him with the ball here in crunch time. They're trying to strip it. You can see that, and not a chance.
All right, first down and 10 for the Monroe Hornets, down below 3.5 minutes and ticking. Ball is at the 20-yard line, just inside the red zone, as Monroe is starting to get ready to get the buses going.
Oh, that bus ride home, Joel. 2 hours, it's going to be a party bus. That's my kind of party.
And the bus ride next week will be a lot shorter to Robinson Field.
Yes, it will.
Again, A-gap blitz.
It worked.
It worked.
And you know what? Monroe just doesn't care right now.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
As long as it's not an incomplete pass, they're all right.
Mike Niebel actually was the one that made the blitz in the A-gap. He tackled the quarterback and tackled the running back and didn't bother to look at which one had the ball. I didn't see which one had the ball, and it didn't matter which one had the ball. Niebel tackled them both.
No, we have an injury timeout
here. And Niebel is on the ground.
Yes. Tyler Long is injured, and he's down on the ground.
So Niebel gets up, 46.
I thought it was 16.
He's the one that made the blitz, 46.
Okay.
Yep. And so we're back at the 20-yard line. The clock is stopped momentarily for the injury. Didn't look like a very significant injury. And it looks like they're going to wind the clock, so the injury's not going to gain any advantage there necessarily.
Monroe is smart just to let this go all the way down. We're under 3 minutes. We're down to 2:43, 16 seconds on the play clock.
Absolutely. Take as much time as you possibly can.
And what's nice about this field is they got a play clock right in front of you. You can read it as the quarterback and know exactly when to snap that ball.
Right in the back left corner of the end zone. Very odd-looking snap count there, as a couple people moved a little early before the ball was actually snapped.
False start.
That might have actually been a false start on everybody other than center. You see that every once in a while where the center doesn't get the snap count right, and everybody
else fires.
Yep.
Yeah. The ball's just sitting there between the centers going, what?
What? What'd he say? Look at the clock. All right, so it's going to be 2nd and 15.
I've been pleased to call. This is probably the upset of the night in high school football. This is great.
Yeah, we'll see what Fairfield and Elder ends up doing.
Yes.
Yep. 13-0 Wapak still leads Shawnee with 10 minutes left to go in that game. Deaton takes it outside, never did pitch it to Pitch. Had Pitch open. Pitch wanted the ball, but never got it. And we're going to have a timeout taken by Elida. All right. So, Division III playoffs. Monroe Hornets, if they win this one today, they're going to get to play the Ross Rams next week down at Robinson Field. If you like triple option football, that's
it's like
where you're
Army playing against Army, pretty much.
Little Army-Navy type of stuff, right? Or Army-Air Force.
Gotta love it.
Oh, my goodness. It looks like Lakota West has finished off West Claremont by a final score of 44-0 in that 1 versus 16 game in Division I. Hamilton and Hamilton's still down by 15 points against the Moeller Crusaders, and that's in that Division I bracket as we saw earlier. Talawanda has advanced, so Monroe, even if you do find a way to stumble and squander this 11-point game with 1:57 left, which you shouldn't, Talawanda won't be available to play you next week anyway. Talawanda is going to play the Kings Knights. That will be a tall task.
Kings is good.
Start of the fourth quarter from the pit. Fairfield leads Elder 32-28. That's a ball game. All right. Third down. Handoff up the middle. Actually, it's quarterback keeper to Deaton. Elida's going to take their third and final timeout with 1:52 left to go. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors this year for Butler County High School Sports Report. Performance Toyota, of course, has been awesome for Chris Vogt for a couple years now. Matani Steel sponsors the Baden Athletics, of course, and Monroe High School themselves sponsoring this game with the fee that is due to the OHSAA.
In our new Miami games, we've had some sponsorship from Red's Hamburgers.
Hamburgers, yep, absolutely.
Delicious.
They're good. They're good. Lakota East leads Sycamore 28-10 with 8:34 left to go in that game. And as you can see here, Lakota East, I've got the wrong bracket up there. Lakota East, if they beat Sycamore, will play Lakota West next week. How about that?
Lakota will advance in that game.
Yes, they will. Yes,
okay,
they will.
we have a 4th and 14 now. Now, if they run the ball and they stop them, the clock stops
anyway. That's
so
right.
no field goal, interesting.
Pitch. Ish Moss trying to break to the outside. Limited room. Tackled and contained by, once again, Mike Niebel, who's had a very nice game.
The clock stops, yes.
Stopped
Go
at the
ahead.
19-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Elida Bulldogs with no timeouts remaining and 1:47 left, down by 2 scores. Troy leads your Franklin Heights Golden Falcons 49-6 with 5 change left to go in that game.
Well, they missed the extra pointer. They would have put a 50 burger on them.
There it is.
Only 49.
There it is.
Go Franklin.
Talawanda. Final score over Belmont was 56-13. Both this Reveille was all over
I'm
the
sure
place
Talawanda
tonight.
had the running game going, that's for sure.
I saw somebody at one point in time write down the stat that Maurice Thomas has the school record for 6 touchdowns. So I know Reveille was getting close to it.
Ball's deflected in the air, intercepted, and touchdown.
And into the end zone by the big guy, Chandler Holler. The tip was by Tanner Chastain, who had a rough first half with a couple of ill-timed penalties. Comes up huge there, tips Larkin Henderson's pass up into the air, into the waiting arms of Chandler Holler.
He was reaching for it, and he said, oh, my gosh, I got a gift. And he did a spin move, broke a tackle, and went right in the end zone.
He runs it about 7 yards into the end zone. It's not a very long interception return. It doesn't have to be a very long interception return. And you can start the buses here. How about the Monroe Hornets?
Impressive victory. Wait a minute, they have to bring the football in from the sidelines. Here we go. Lining up for the extra point. 1:41 to go in the game here. It's going to be 27, and with the extra point, 28-10 Monroe. We have a false start, so it'll be a little bit longer extra point.
Monroe Hornets planning a trip to Ross. Wow. Final score out of Kumler Field. The Edgewood Cougars finish off Columbus West 62-12. Wow. In Division III, at the end of the third quarter, Mount Healthy Owls lead Fenwick 33-7.
There you go.
Dunbar says that Mount Healthy was the second best team in that bracket. I believe they're the 10 seed.
They played like a second seed. Blocked extra point.
Extra point blocked. So we're not going to say the extra point is good. And with
I love the Elida fans. They're cheering to the end. They're cheering the blocked extra point. That's fantastic.
That's exactly right. We'll be right back with 1:41 left to go here from a somewhat forlorn Kraft Stadium.
Performance Toyota Superstore invites you to save. Money, that is. Overstocked pre-owned vehicles have forced us to wholesale direct to you. Our loss is your gain. Everything is on sale. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Every deal will be made. Keep your stimulus check and just show up and drive. If you want it, we've got it. Every style, every color, every model. It's used cars for everyone. Only at your Performance Toyota Superstore. Go to performancetoyotastore.com.
Division I score. Elder has scored. Fairfield leads the Panthers 39-34 with 7:48 left to go in that game, as that just goes crazy.
That sounds like an awesome game.
Coach Krause has got his boys ready to play. Good for them. Good for them. There were 3 GMC schools that did rank Fairfield ahead of Elder.
Okay.
Even though Elder has 2 more wins than Fairfield. But if Fairfield wins tonight, maybe the GMC coaches knew a little something there. I'll give them that much credit.
How hard is it to go to Joe Idle and just copy off those rankings?
Or at least use that as your basis, right?
Yes, exactly.
Squib kick. Flutters around. Picked up by number 46, Mike Niebel. And yes, Stan, you're right. The Elida fans are still very much cheering their guys on with 1:35 left to go in this game. They're obviously, the game is
White
decided,
McPherson on a tackle for, yeah, I know. White McPherson, the tackle for the Hornets. 1:35 to go. Expect some long passes, some Hail Marys. I rush 3 and leave 8 in the back. We'll see what they do.
Halftime score, I'm guessing at Welcome Stadium, Dunbar leads Aiken 12-6. They got to get past Aiken in order to get shellacked by Alter next week. So we got to see what happens there.
Hope Aiken gets them.
Shotgun snap, out wide. That's Gunnar Kuhn. Kuhn wrapped up by Ishmael.
Okay, nice generous stop of the clock by the official because his forward progress was stopped in the field of play.
But he did step out of bounds. They did get the forward progress spot. Yeah,
right. But what I'm saying is the clock should have kept going.
Right.
And they stopped the clock.
I think if you mark them 1 yard ahead and give them the forward progress, it would be a running clock. I think they marked him out of bounds and didn't give him the forward progress.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yep.
Rolling
Sweep toward the left. Henderson. He's got a man. Monroe just playing prevent defense. They're not all that concerned about this completed pass to Carter Harsh along the left sideline. The Elida Bulldogs have the ball across midfield. Down by 17 points. It's all over but the shouting here. For the Monroe Hornets, Coach Bob Mullins, he's got to feel on top of the world tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, I feel good for Monroe. I really do. I mean, to come in here as a 21 seed.
Yep. Roll out to the right. Pass to Harsh. Again, catches them on the sidelines. Monroe gives them the space to make the catch, and they let him out of bounds. I'd love to see with Monroe's prevent defense if at least they would take away the sidelines here. They're not even doing that. And so
yeah.
I mean, the clock stops are going to be very frequent if they can keep stepping out of bounds as soon as they catch the football. It is a 1st and 10 for Elida at the Monroe 27.
1 minute and 6 seconds to go in the ball game here.
Clock still stopped because of the completed pass going out of bounds. Henderson tries to stay inside the pocket, gets swallowed up by a couple of Hornets. The first one there is Chandler Holler, the one who just made the interception return on the previous possession.
I'm going to give him my player of the game.
He's been great.
He ought to drink a Mountain Holler there, Chandler Holler.
You! Oh, my goodness.
That's a bad Mountain Dew imitation pop for you fans out there. Mountain Holler.
9 of 10 dentists recommend not drinking any Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew is we even call it Mountain Dew mouth.
That's it. Henderson looks up the slot.
And it's intercepted.
Pitch. Second interception of the game. Actually, that's not pitch. That's number 8. That is Jack Taylor.
Jack Taylor's been around the ball all night too, Joel.
He has. He's had a few opportunities for some interceptions. That was the first one he was able to cleanly get.
Looks like we're going to have a kneel down coming up here, Joel, and they're going to have a really, really fun 2-hour bus ride home. They're celebrating on the sidelines right now. They're feeling really good about themselves. Congratulations to the Monroe Hornets. Just a very, very dominating run attack, dominating the offensive line on defense, keeping this Elida team pretty much under check the whole game.
You know, I had not seen Monroe in person this year. I had heard that offensively they run with a little bit of a governor on the engine. You know, a few limitations that they don't want to try to push beyond, and they did everything right tonight. Everything you need.
They did.
Oh, Monroe Hornets are going to advance after taking out the Western Buckeye League's third-place team on the road.
In this beautiful facility.
That's the
27-10.
The Monroe Hornets are going to Ross. You heard I'm going to Disney World? They're going to Ross.
I don't know if that's the same, Joel.
What if they're going to need directions? All right, we'll come back and wrap this thing up here right after this commercial break. 27-10, Monroe over Elida.
Performance Toyota Superstore invites you to save. Money, that is. Overstocked pre-owned vehicles have forced us to wholesale direct to you. Our loss is your gain. Everything is on sale. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Every deal will be made. Keep your stimulus check and just show up and drive. If you want it, we've got it. Every style, every color, every model. It's used cars for everyone. Only at your Performance Toyota Superstore. Go to performancetoyotastore.com.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
All right, Dan, back here at Kraft Memorial Stadium. The Monroe Hornets come up here and steal away a win in a fairly dominating fashion and break the hearts of the Elida Bulldogs.
Yeah, I don't think there was any stealing involved at all. I think they imposed their will from the get-go, dominating at the line of scrimmage, running the ball at 3 and 4, 5 yards a pop, and Elida really had no answers for that. It was just an impressive offensive display, and more importantly, I think defensively. They only gave up 2 scores, gave up 10. One was on a short field after a long punt return. The other was a penalty-ridden one. So what can you say? Monroe, just an outstanding, offensive and defensive performance. And they were the underdog in this game, obviously.
Absolutely. Advanced Monroe in the bracket, put them against Ross. I would imagine Wapakoneta has probably beaten Shawnee by now. I've not seen that score actually go final. Still got 10 minutes left to go in that game, the last I've been able to see. So that would be who Baden would have to get ready for next week. Dunbar-Aiken, obviously, be interested to see what happens there with Kettering-Alter involved. St. Mary's Memorial, for these of you Elida fans listening, that they're in your conference, they're going to have no problem at all advancing. They'll play the winner of Franklin and Vandalia Butler.
And Mountain Healthy going up against Trotwood.
No, they'll be going against the Tippecanoe Ponitz Tech winner.
Okay, I got you.
Salina and Carroll will get to go against, the winner of that game will get to go against the Trotwood-Madison Rams.
Who's only played, 2 games?
3 games now.
3 games now.
Exactly. Okay. Looks like in Salina,
yes,
the Carroll Patriots were leading Salina 35-32 after 3 quarters.
Wow.
So that game also, like the Fairfield Elder game, has been going crazy back and forth. Winner gets Trotwood-Madison. Salina was the team that Elida almost beat in the middle of this 4 out of 5 game tilt that they were on before tonight. Elida led that game almost the entire way until Salina got it toward the end. And, of course, I'm glad I didn't call that game the Elida Bulldogs and the Celina Bulldogs.
Oh, my goodness. What a mess.
At least the colors are different. You got the orange and you got the green. So, any final thoughts for you, Dan Vogt?
Let's just say this. Ross, get ready. Your mirror image is coming to town.
That's right. And they're heating up.
And they're heating up. Monroe, 2 wins in a row. Madison Mohawks, now they beat the favored Elida Bulldogs. Watch out, Ross.
All right. So, from Roger Kraft Memorial Stadium here in Elida, Ohio, for Dan Vogt, Chris Vogt, Joey Vogt. Hey, I voted today. This is Joel Sackenheim for Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Good night.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.